So,
We are on now.
yo, what happened to Zero? Yo, we're live on YouTube?
Yeah,
Who
we're
would have
live.
guessed?
I just got the notification.
Looks like we're stable. Okay, looks like we're stable.
You know what soundbite I want more than any soundbite in the world?
What's up?
The sound your Sega Genesis makes when you flick the cartridge when it's in the middle of gameplay.
Sega.
Not quite.
Close, right?
I don't think that's
No.
how that goes.
No. I'm talking about when you, like, hit the cartridge while it's, like... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can make that noise. That's easy. Okay.
Alright, hold on, guys.
Do you even know what it sounded means?
Hold on. We're about to get the stream started in a second. I just still play this.
I thought it was already like.
You were lied to.
There you go. That
I'm
was my
getting lied
cartridge.
to.
You
We're
lied to
streaming
us.
already. It's just that I gotta throw these chips in with it. They're disgusting.
Hello, everyone. We're back for the stream. Today, we're going to be talking about the Guinness World Record books.
How many times is he going to call it?
Gamers Edition.
No, I think you mean Jamers Edition.
And don't forget
I mean-
about Guinness.
The
The Guinness
Gamers
World
Edition of Jimmy Neutron.
I think you mean, yeah.
We're going to be talking about who's in the book at the moment and just how we feel about it. About being in the book.
Okay. We are back.
What book this is?
We are back.
We've been backtracked for us. I
Yeah, I
was
know.
explaining what we're talking about.
We are going to be talking
Yes,
about the
Genesis.
Guinness Book of World Records. The
Travis, it's pronounced
2018.
Sweet.
It is the
Stop.
2018 Gamer Edition. I put out a video earlier today. You guys could have seen it, and it showed a couple of members in EMP that's in it, and a couple of featured friends of mine that I wanted to point out. But we want to find out who else is in the book, and we're joined by the EMP Discord community. We have Royal Lance and Speed here who have copies of the books. We're going to take a look at some of those books, and we're going to talk about who's in the book, why they're in the book, and should they have been in the book for that reason. So, let me see something. Is everyone? I want to double check, make sure that everything's looking good. Oh my goodness. Let me refresh this page. I'm upset. We only have 4 people in here. This is bad. We had like 30 something just a while ago when we went around the first time. See, this is what I don't like. All right, so it's growing up. So anyway, let's start with the beginning of the book. Lance. Let's skip past all of the that opening. They have all this stuff about the book or whatever. Let's go to a page. What would be the first significant page there, Lance or Speed?
You said it one more time.
What would be the first significant page? Because there's an introduction page, there's a preface, there's all that table of contents. Skip all of that. Let's just go to the first page, and what records do we have there?
Alright.
And when I say go to the first page, I don't mean go to page 1. I mean
No,
go
I
to
know.
the page.
I'm going I'm passing all the stuff, like the index and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I guess the first page.
I don't mean go to page.
I guess the first page would be like maybe 14, where it shows Sandy, the hardware, and it shows the other side with virtuality and stuff like that.
No, see, that's whack. I don't want to talk about the hardware and stuff. I want to talk about the people. Who are the gamers
Yes.
in the book?
Some of the gamers are in the book are. No, I mean, look through it. I'm doing this like Dan TDM.
What? I didn't know. See, what you're doing is you're going by this your way. We got to go this page by page until we get to the back of the book, not select the part that Steve wants to do. Where's Lance? Is Lance?
Triforce just loaded up Puyo Tetris.
How you know?
It pops up on my game, the Switch.
Oh,
Labs.
So what page are you? Go to page. Oh my goodness! You're making it so
69.
difficult. No, not page 69.
I kind of want to know what's on that page.
On page 18, they show Shirley
I go to page 420.
Curry, where she's. I love playing games, especially Skyrim. Getting into Gamers Edition is pretty cool and amazing. She was the oldest video games YouTuber.
Okay, I don't get it.
Me either.
Shirley Curry, age 81 86 days as of April 28, April 2017, has short hundreds of videos for her self-titled channel, building up an impression fan base of 238,449 subscribers and accumulated 6 million views. The Virgin resident introduced by gaming by her son in the 1990s, mostly stripped to
see,
action RPG.
you're making this too long and boring, and people are losing things. What is the point of the record? Give me the general understanding of the record.
Oldest video game YouTuber.
That's it?
Pretty much.
And who was it?
Okay. Who is
Shirley Curry.
Shirley Curry. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll start with this. Hey guys, what do you think about Shirley Curry being in the book? Your thoughts?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think anything's wrong with anything, but like,
Yeah.
Just because she's old and she's a YouTuber. I
huh?
just feel like maybe I kind of just feel like having a record for being the oldest person on YouTube really doesn't make that difference unless YouTube is here for a little bit longer. Like maybe the oldest person on the platform, not really the oldest person being a YouTuber.
Yeah, but you can't really just point out
'Cause I feel like maybe
Curly
they-
Shirley like specifically in my opinion for that, because it's just how Guinness does with books. They always just have filler records in my opinion.
Well, okay, look at reverse. Reverse is like, I mean, who is this? Exactly. Who is this person? Who in the Rudy Poo is this person? Curly. Who is also Shirley? Who is that? See, no one knows. We're trying to figure out who is this person.
Yeah, well, that in my opinion, that's kind of the point of the book, right? It's to get you to recognize people you wouldn't otherwise know. It's not to say this person's like they've done like so much like compared to you, Triforce. It's not about that.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not implicate me in anything. I don't want to be involved in any of that. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, who is the person? The person doesn't have to have done some miraculous world-saving, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, what is the there has to be some substance to this, or it's just pointless, because then you could just put anyone in the Guinness Book of World Records, and then that would dilute the integrity of the Book of World Records. So, what is the person? So this person has gotten a bunch of YouTube viewers, so to speak. Is that what that is? What's the category? Okay, so then what is it? Explain.
They basically just have the record for being the oldest YouTuber.
Oh, it's a person
focused on gaming. Who focused on gaming?
Okay, see, this is what I was looking for in the beginning. This is the oldest person on YouTube that focuses on gaming. You could have just started off with that in the beginning, and we would have all been like, "Oh, okay, we get it."
Yeah. Oh, he said that.
He did?
Yeah.
It just sounded like he was mumbling. He was like, "So I was thinking,
it kind of was, but
He needs an intensive reading class.
See, that's just starting problems. Like, I didn't say
I'm just saying for like the stream here. I don't mean like to insult him or anything.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's hard to understand.
All right. So okay, now that we get that, let's move on to the next record. Lance, pick out a record for us from what page was that?
That was page 18.
Page 18. Now we went that far, and then that's all. We only got one person. Okay. All right. So Lance, actually, is Lance even awake, or did Lance finally fall asleep because we were taking so long?
I mean, he's still in VC.
Yes, but that doesn't mean anything. He probably fell asleep in front of the computer because we was taking forever. All right. Speed, go for the next one. What else we got?
Because the next page was Urban Legends, and now this is Dota 2.
Urban Legends. What is Urban Legends about?
Yeah. Urban Legends is like myths and games that don't exist. Like, unlike a copy of Majora's Mask was given by someone they bought at a garage sale, and they saw some weird stuff in it, but it was just some ROM hacks once they recorded the footage. So basically, stuff like that. You didn't expect that to be in the game. It's a cursed game or something like that.
It was just a creepypasta.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew about that already. It's like it's a thing actually.
That's a filler record. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, the story goes that there was a boy who owned the game before, and he died, and his ghost is possessing the game
Oh, you
cartridge.
gotta be kidding me.
No, that's not even the Majora's Mask one. That's a different one, I think. That's
Oh, that's a different one?
Yeah, you're talking about Ben Drowned. Isn't that right?
I don't remember the name. I'm just pretty sure the story was that the Majora's Mask cartridge was, like, possessed by the ghost of the kid who died.
No, it just says on 2010, a player obtained a copy from a creepy old man at a garage sale. He loaded it up. Some music track played backwards. Spooky characters appeared from nowhere, and a hero link randomly burst into flames. Despite finding its paranormal form, the footage was later revealed to be a result of ROM hacking.
Okay, Guinness, if you're listening, we don't do these things anymore. Please do not allow those type of records in the book. Don't do those things anymore. I'm just giving you my honest criticism.
Yeah, that's not a record.
That's not a record. I understand that's a, what is that called? What section is that under? Do they categorize it?
Yep, gaming urban legends.
Oh, gaming urban legends. Okay, I guess this is supposed to be some type of entertainment part. Okay, I guess we'll let that slide. All right, next record. I don't know what. Hold on, let's see what the crowd said. Let's see what the audience says. They go what? That's to get kids off games. Okay, one guy reverse is laughing. Some stupid record. Had Triforce. Okay, let's move on. Next record.
Hello?
Yes, go to the next record.
Alright, sorry, you got quiet. Oh, I think I heard Lance.
Oh, yeah, my mic was on mute. I didn't realize.
Oh, that's why we couldn't hear you. Okay. All right, so Lance, you pick out the next record.
It's alive.
I'm on like page 22, Dota 2.
In the Dota section.
Get it out.
Also, I want to say one thing. In like each section, when they pick out a certain game, there's also a YouTuber that's very popular there.
Okay.
Yeah, just trying to find a page before I announce it.
All right.
2.
What are you looking for?
I was looking at for the Just Dance one.
Oh no, we're gonna get there. We're going by pages. We're not like.
Like I said, whatever you do, don't take too long. Because let's see, where are we at now?
Page 22. Yeah.
Page 22. Oh, we're on Dota.
Okay, what's on the Dota section?
Let's see. There's highest earning esports player.
Who's that? EG?
No. It's some guy. Oh yeah, he is from Team Evil Geniuses.
I think that's Sahil.
Yeah, Sahil or Roller.
Wait, can you repeat the record?
Sahil.
This is do not
highest earning esports player.
Dude,
he's
hold on.
He's pocketed.
Go on.
He's pocketed $2,720,623 or £2,181,370 British.
Oh, okay. This
in Dota 2. So
and that's the highest earning esports player in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so any parents who's listening to this, I just want to be able to be the first person to say, hold that. So yeah.
I'm showing this to my mom.
Yeah, you should show that to your mom. Anyone who gets the Guinness Book of World Records 2018 edition, show this to your parents and you just tell them, hold that. Put your hand on their chest and just say, hold that. They're going to look at you and be like, what does that mean? And you just say, hold that. The parents must take an L on this one.
There's even one about the youngest gamer to earn 1 million. And
okay, even so, you still put your hand on it. Get the Guinness Book of World. You go to the store, buy the book, bring it home, show your parents that I need to show you something about gaming. Open the book, find this that page. What page was that?
22 and 23.
Page 22 and 23. Show them how much guys are making competing in video game competitions. Then you put your hand on their chest and you say, hold that. They must understand what they're holding. They're going to be like, what do you mean hold that? I'm like, For every mother and father out there who's ever said video games, you'll never amount to anything in video games. You just tell them, hold that, and say, yes, mom, I'm going to make more money than you in your entire lifetime playing video games. We need you to hold this L in your chest.
Triforce, I have two things to say about the record so far.
Okay.
The first thing, I think we had a misconception about one of the earlier records was Shirley Curry. When they said the oldest video game YouTuber, they didn't mean like the oldest as in how long their channel's been up. Literally, like by age, this person's
They
like
meant
in
by
their
age.
60s or 70s.
She's
But-
81 years old.
But see that you gotta give the context. You can't just say oldest and then not give the context. You got the book in front
on,
of you, Speed. Come on, man. You gotta get the
I
context
said by
of it.
age. I said 81 years.
Also,
Oh, I didn't
Triforce.
hear that then. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Also,
mumbling.
by the way, Triforce, I don't know how Guinness Book of World Records calculated like which esports player made the most money, but I think it was just by salary and not tournament winnings because I'm
No,
pretty sure.
that's a tournament win. That's the
No, because the
that's-
prize pool for TI last year, each player made well over $5 million. So people have made well over $2 million from esports.
This is
Faker
true.
got offered in
Well, there's
Faker,
other.
the best player in League of Legends.
Well, there's
last year,
Well, there's also a date a date right next to the player, so they know when the record was there. It's like someone could have beat it, but it's gonna be like maybe in the next book if they want to put it in.
What you was gonna say, Lance?
Yeah, saying that if there are, I think that Guinness World Records are still getting the information from. I forgot the name of that site. It's called Esports Earnings.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah, they're sometimes known to miss a lot of money coming in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So it's
there's
not up.
definitely.
You don't
So
think it's
it is
updated yet?
possible. It is possible that there is some money that's being unaccounted for
Mhm.
in the esports earnings website.
Okay, so we can.
So
make that
there's something you
assumption.
got to factor it in because I know that it's definitely not.
Oh God.
They don't. They don't have all the earnings for fighting game players, and I assume that would also be the case with other teams too, with other players too.
That has everything to do with us because when you go to esportsearnings.com, it has Empire Arcadia there, and it only has us at $150,000 or something like that, a lifetime for the team, and the team is one of the oldest teams in esports. And I know we didn't spend no $150,000 in 16 years. We spent way more than that. We earned way more than that, but it's just not updated, and it has us down for making that amount of money in only 300 tournaments when we clearly won over 2,000. So it's not updated, but we're gonna fix that next year. Anyway, so let's go to the next record. What's the next record? Next page, next record.
We're in League of Legends now.
Oh,
There's
League of
some of
Legends.
the most wins of the LO World. It's these nuts.
We've reconnected. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're streaming right now, but we're having. I don't know what's going on. What the hell is happening here? Why is this acting? Why is it Fiber acting up?
Yeah, it's going in and out
Yes,
repeatedly.
I'm looking at it right here. Could it be a weather? Could the? I don't even think. No, we're not. We have a nice little tropical storm down there, but it's nothing like what y'all are getting up there.
Maybe a
I really
telephone
don't
line
want.
down or
I
something.
really would like to finish this thing off, but I'd have to call it a day because I'm literally should be in bed. I should have been in bed like an hour ago.
All right.
So,
oh no, we
yeah,
won't.
sorry,
we won't hold you
but
up. No, it's our fault. I started way too late anyway, so I'm gonna let you go though. Well, Speed has a book, so we'll just go. We'll try to make the best out of it with Speed.
yeah, I'll just have to. Yeah, there's like a few things that I wanted to say, but it could wait another time. It's
What do you want to say? Say it before you bounce.
yeah. It's just my commentary on the Speed. Previous years, there was a section for Twin Galaxies where it has a bunch of the scores. It included different players, including Triforce, myself, and of course Todd. Many different players, and this has been going on for almost the entire life of Guinness World Records Gamers Editions. But this year, it got replaced with something different.
Are you talking about Speedrun?
It got replaced with exactly speedrun.com.
Yeah, man.
Like there's some in the Twin Galaxies communities that got upset pretty much, but
here's my question to you: Why do you think they replaced that area with like the speed demo archives, or if that's what they?
Because they're less restrictive.
Speedrun, well, that too. Yeah, speed, bro. For starters, speedruns are pretty much it seems to be very popular, like a popular way of playing video games, and and it continues to grow. The highest score thing that Twin Galaxies is known for has dwindled down for the last few years. Yeah, the only thing that seems to be stepping up is Donkey Kong, and even that is waning. And also, speedrun.com ranks higher in page views than twingalaxies.com. And also, there's another factor that people don't really consider. It's the community. You see, Guinness World Records are in the business of selling books. And the more books they sell, and they're in it to sell books. So
the more books they sell, the better it is.
Yeah, and they will tend to make decisions on what will make their book more appealing.
So here's a question now. So do you believe that they believe that the speedrun archive community has more pull? Who's eating like that on the stream? You're making too much noise. Someone's just crunching away.
It's KDZ.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
God damn it, man.
All right, so
no, it's not KDZ. It's Femur Father.
Who?
Femur Father. The Bone Daddy.
The hell?
So I won a small tournament at not Summer Jam, ECT, as the Femur Father, aka Bone Daddy.
Oh, so that's the new name.
I don't want to. I'm lost. What does that mean?
Bone Daddy?
No, the femur is the largest bone in the body.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I completely don't understand. But anyway.
God damn
it.
I'm so upset.
I'm lost. But so do you
Thank you for understanding.
Sorry. Do you think the speedrun community can bring in more sales for Guinness than Twin Galaxies?
That's pretty much well established because speedrun more people go into speedrun.com than they do Twin Galaxies. Okay,
is there a particular reason why?
Something. Speedruns are more popular, and when it comes to communities and stuff, I'm not gonna say that speedrun.com has no bad apples, because every community has the bad apples, but Twin Galaxies has had their issues with its issues with people disrupting the community, driving people away. And then also the adjudication system that Twin Galaxies likes to brag about. Well, the new Twin Galaxies, that is, it's known to crack. It cracked during a verification of a score that was for Double Dragon in Battletoads. I think that's the game. Yeah, some guy didn't follow the normal rules and he claimed that the original record holder did it the same way, but that original record holder put out a video of his score, and he got the score without doing all the leeching and all that stuff that the new guy did. There's like a lot of things.
Is that what you sent me earlier?
Yes.
Oh, I was wondering what was that about. So wait a minute, because now I'm kind of interested on this. So what? Okay, so because when you say it, the adjudication system, this new modern adjudication system, cracked. What cracked about it? Because now I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What if? All right. When I say that it cracked, this is like one example. See, this score is undisputed, and if you look, most of the disputes were for the old records pre Jace Hall.
I see what you're saying.
But this is a post Jace Hall record, and this is a score done. This was a record that was done improperly. He did a leech that wasn't allowed in the original rules.
Yes.
So I'm gonna read you the notes that was put in the dispute.
All right.
This run was a clear case of leeching, and to those who don't know, leeching is pretty much you stay in the same spot, killing the same guys for a bunch of points, and there's no timer on the clock. There's no timer in a game, so you could do it pretty much
infinitely
as long as you want. The original adjudication seemed to fall under the spell of, well, the other guy must have leached, so it'll be okay to accept.
Okay, exactly. All right. No, and I'm glad you said that because we can keep going. When you're done, I'm gonna say my statement on this.
Shortly after the adjudication was accepted, the thread popped up showing the original run, and it wasn't leeching. The original run, meaning the original record.
Yes.
Yes, and Punch Out, and I'm pretty sure you remember the Punch Out incident.
Yep. Where
a certain person submitted a fake Tyson knockout score.
Okay.
That got blown up. It almost got adjudicated until the Punch Out pros came in.
And that's he had to get the quote, which means if the pros did not come in, the record would have passed. Which I'm guilty of one of these things because there's a record. I'm not going to say the game and I'm not going to say the player, but there is a record that actually went by. Wait a minute, who's disturbing while I'm talking? Oh, Hairdo. Sorry to interrupt, Lance. Just got to get this in before I have to leave. Oh, thank you, Hairdo. Hairdo made a donation last while he was talking. I'm gonna get to the comments on in the stream real quick. Yeah, the storm is bad because my internet access is going crazy. But yeah, so the person who did this, right? They actually broke the rules in the game. But because I'm not a hater, because that's the type of mentality I am, I'm not a hater. I believe there's enough records to go around for everybody. And people should leave space for other people to get a chance to compete for records. In the Twin Galaxies community, like I'm going to say this wide out in the open, the Twin Galaxies community is a fraudulent community. I'm talking about the people in it. They're all frauds. Like this thing about competitive play and people smiling and being friends and one in the highest level, man, ain't got nothing to do with that. Dudes is about coming up off other players, and that's just the reality. They just want to come up off you. Dudes look for records that bring attention, and they go for those records. They don't go for those records because they actually like the game per se. Like they are like, oh, I love this game. I grew up on this game. I was always in love with this game, and I'm good at the game. So let me try to go for the record in that game. They go, who has a record for this game? This guy. If I could beat this guy record, I'll become famous. Like they literally think like that. It's crazy. Like dudes be. And I'm just calling it what it is.
I mean, you probably would have been famous like maybe 5 years ago, but it's Twin Galaxies has like the attention between Galaxies has kind of waned. So even if you beat a score, it's not like that you'll get on. It's not like you'll get on the Tonight Show or anything.
Me and Billy Mitchell, who's crushing chips. Me and Billy Mitchell had this conversation, right? And we was having this conversation at last year, and I said this out wide and open. I don't care what people say or Triforce says. Like I'm not friends with people in the Twin Galaxies community. Like there ain't no one there built me. Like get out of here with that one. None of them built me, so I don't need to be friends with anyone. I could be enemies or neutral with everyone, and I'm good. I'm good to go. But like. I'm like, yo, a lot of these dudes, they're false, B. They only smile in your face because it's mainly like I need to be friends with this person because I want to see how much I can learn from the person and get good from the person and then eventually beat the person and then they start talking trash. In fact, it's
there's also and sometimes it's not even maybe it also it's not always trying to like be friends with the person so you beat them. It's just like you want to be friends with the person because you think that person will make you relevant.
Exactly. So
exactly, like you don't even pretty much need the skills.
Yeah,
it's pretty much a click
Well, they would argue the whole click argument because they would say that other people would say, well, there's a terminology in one of the threads called the good old boys. That's what they call it, the good old boys thread. And where they say the old men defend each other and defend their records, and there's some type of conspiracy that the old men are all cheating to just protect each other's records and all this other stuff and blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. So they would argue that the click thing has always existed long before them, and they're just the old men are just mad because they're doing the very same thing that they're now doing. But that's not the case. The old men are trying to protect the integrity and the guard of what it stood for versus what it is now. And a lot of these guys are not like this, which goes back to my original point. They're not here to make records because they play these games. Here's an example, right? I'm gonna keep this a buck right now. A lot of people are not gonna like Triforce after I say this. You know how you have older people who go into schools and they take kids lollipops, and we frown on that. Like, yo, you going into a schoolyard taking kids candies? Like, come on, you a bully and blah blah blah. A lot of these young guys, these young whippersnappers, they have absolutely no respect for the generation before them. Like, these dudes are the type of kids that will go into a mental home or a home for elderly people and whatnot and steal their insure and drink it and then throw it back into their face and be like, you old ass man. Like, that's what they would do. So it's like, it's one thing to kind of like, sit there and want to pay homage and stuff like that. But a lot of these guys they're not there to pay homage to the old school. They don't care about that crap. Dudes who've never played Donkey Kong in their life now playing Donkey Kong like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, let's be realistic here. Like, if the King of Kong movie never came out, how many of these young Donkey Kong champions would we have ever seen?
Not many.
Like, they wouldn't come out and play it because it's not a relevant game. It's Donkey Kong. They'd be sitting there playing their Call of Duty. And the reason, so you see all of these young guys popping up out of nowhere playing the old man's game. And I'm like, why are you playing the old man's game? Why don't you go and play Call of Duty, Dota, Injustice, Street Fighter? Why don't you play the modern games? Because you know why? They can't. These are the same bums who can't be playing. They can't play. Hold on for a second. I gotta mute somebody. Thank you. These are the same guys that they can't play basketball on court with the people that's of their age. They got to play basketball on the court with people that they know they can beat. So they'll be going on the basketball court and a guy will jump over and dunk and put his balls on his neck and everything, like, hold that! Ah! And they go, man, I can't win here. So they'll go to the old retirement home and see guys who's walking with a crane trying to dribble the ball. And these are the type of guys who run, steal the ball from the old man, cross him over, make him break his ankles, fall down and his dentures fall out of his mouth, and then he'll dunk on the other two old ladies under them and he'll be yelling in their face, talking about, step your game up, and that's just as bad as like beating up on little, like old men beating up on little kids. Like, come on, man, or taking their candy. So, like, to all you young guys out there, I'm gonna keep it 100 a buck with y'all. I don't even like y'all. Never did, to be very honest with y'all. I'm never gonna like y'all. Stay in your class, stay in your lane. Go back and go play the games that the generation you born in. Stop trying to go take the old man's glory. That's all they have. And the same hypocrisy is these same people sit here and go, look at these old men trying to maintain their legacy. They're completely not what's the word for this? They're not relevant anymore. They're trying to maintain their relevancy. But then it's like, but then that's hypocrisy, because you're trying to take away their relevancy. The thing that made them who they are, their legacy, their old games. You're trying to take those games. Like, go play something in your age, in your range, or whatever the case may be. Now, don't get me wrong. There are legitimate young generation players out here today who like the old school games, and they're about the old school community. But those guys show who they are, because not only do they play the old school games, but they also get involved in the old school community and the culture. So they're not just playing the video games. They're out there actually getting involved with the events, going on the forums, partaking with the people playing at the forums, and doing things that help boast and promote the community, the old school gaming community. Those guys, I am not talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these $5 sucker, whatever these people are. They come from nowhere. You're like, yo, who you? You don't know them. They just came on the scene and whatever, and they're just trying to make a name for themselves. And far worse are the old ones who never even looked at esports to even be anything important. They never really cared about the classic gaming scene. They were okay at a game or two or whatever. But there's like, man, there's nothing gonna take off of this. And now here we are in a new era now, and things are taking off, and they're trying to get they like Stella trying to get their groove back. They're like, oh man, I was nice at these games, and now this is taking off. I'm gonna try and make something. Man, you was a fraud. You was not there back in the days. You was not putting in the work. You was not trailblazing. So if you wasn't repping then, don't rep now. Get out of here with that. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, before I leave, I just want to close it off with this. Yeah, like when I started submitting records for Twin Galaxies, I've pretty much started off with the newer games, and I continue to play the newer games. I mostly veered off playing the old games because, yeah, I really don't have that much, because I really don't see that much of a point of me personally owning a NES record, because I mean, it's like I'm more of a guy that plays a good game no matter what the era is, and yes, an NES score would probably increase my credibility over there, but that's not what I hear from.
Yeah, I don't even know what that credibility. What is the credit? Like depending on your game you play, depends on your credibility.
It's like I said, I don't. It's pretty much it's like if you play the newer games on Twin Galaxies,
yeah,
the intention is not that great unless it's H1Z1, but that's because Jace Hall actively promotes that game. But other than that, it's pretty much the classic that gets the attention. But I don't, and I could easily, go for the older games and then, to show them my credibility. But that's not what I'm here for.
But see, I don't agree.
Because I think some people play. Some people play, the games just for the credibility and hopes to get famous. But I just have to say that if you're gonna do the Twin Galaxies things just for the sake of getting famous, you're going to be miserable.
I'm disappointed.
Yes, exactly.
All right, lads.
And so, yeah. So, if you're gonna do it because you like it. Don't do it because you think it's going to make you famous, because 99.9% of the time, you won't get famous.
See, you're being nice about it. I'm going to tell him this straight up. You're never going to be famous if you're going to do anything old school record in Twin Galaxies. It's the way the nature of the environment in Twin Galaxies is the fame is going to be credited to the old men who put out the work then. You're not going to get any fame. I'm going to keep it. Let me say something controversial, but this is so real. I don't care who it offends in the Twin Galaxies community. For all you young guys thinking that you're going to set a record in Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or Defender or Joust or any of those games or whatever that's going to make you famous, no, it's not. It's just going to make the guys who originally set the records famous. That's it. You're just keeping them relevant. That's all it is. No one cares about some young guy in this day and age coming and beating up old men in the park. We don't care. No one cares. No one's gonna care. Hey, you got the new Donkey Kong record? Yeah. You get a new Donkey Kong record, Billy Mitchell will be mentioned in Guinness Book for it. Prime example is some guy called David Race has the fastest score in Pac-Man. And in David Race's record for the fastest score in Pac-Man, Billy Mitchell is mentioned in it.
Yep. This is true.
I was like, yo. So, no, you're never going to get over the OGs. They paved the way. You're going to pay homage whether you like it or not, punk. Anyway, let me let you go, Lance.
All right. See you guys
I'm
later.
making some enemies over here. A lot of people want to hate me. But we'll talk later, all right?
All right, later.
All right, peace.
Mhm.
Okay, Speed, you there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, yo, we
I
gotta
go at,
you
I
guys,
gotta go at 2 a.m.
you gotta go at what?
2 a.m. It's 12 o'clock right now.
All right, we got 2 hours.
Yeah, we got 2 hours. We'll be done before that. All right, so, and I just noticed that KDZ, oh my goodness, Bone Daddy. Like, come on, Phil.
No, he's the female
I can't
father.
log that, though, Phil. I can't log that. Anyway. All right, anyway, focus on the stream. Focus on the stream. So, yeah, so closing out on this. So, well, not... What the hell? The stream's lagging again. Why is this happening?
Yeah, I put the quality on like 480p and it's still lagging for me. Try for since this is like a this stream is just more just about like the audio for it. Like we just need to hear like what's in the book and stuff. Maybe it's better if you like broadcast in a lower resolution.
No, that's not the issue, man. It's something else. I think it's the storm that's doing this. I don't know, like because we are in a lower resolution. All
Is
right,
it really
we're back.
bad, the
We're
storm?
back. We're back.
We're
Yeah,
back? We're
yeah.
back.
That's 3,000 kilobytes. Come on, just hold. All right, yeah, we're back. So just to close up on that note that I said the whole thing with Lance, like, you know, I never liked the classic gaming community because there's there are 2 parts to it. You have the true old school generation that helped build the scene. You have the guys that even to this day they're in their 40s and their 50s and they actively go out to retro cons, retro gaming tournaments. They get involved with the stuff on the and the forums and stuff like that. They put out raw records, and then you have like the superstar guys, which I will say Billy Mitchell and Walter Day, who actively go out to like Wizard Con, Dragon Con, all these places, E3 and stuff like that, and they promote the entire culture. Like they're like the faces of classic gaming. When you think Donkey Kong and stuff like that, the first thing you think of is Billy Mitchell and Walter Day. So that like they're the faces of it all. So they go out and they promote the scene. But then there's a lot of false dudes out there who never wanted to go out and never wanted to push the scene. They never wanted to do anything because they never thought the scene would have survived and be what it is now. Now they're older and the scene's blowing up and they see Billy Mitchell and they see Walter Day and they see these guys have been in a couple of movies, and it gives that notion. When you look at it from a commercial standpoint, when you step back from it, it looks like they're making money off of this. You have now these dudes who's like, yo, well, I should get money too. You know, I was a great champion back then, and blah. I'm like, yeah, but we get it. You were a great champion back then, but what did you do from then to now to support the scene? And you find out they didn't do anything. So, like, should they be credited with any acknowledgement? No, unless you're gonna do something that's gonna help push stuff today. And a lot of these guys, they don't want to go out and go do anything. They want to stay in the comfort of their home and just like think they could just submit records and expect to get. Nah, it don't work like that, man. Anyway, let's move to the next record. So
we're at League of Legends now.
we're at League of Legends. Okay. So what you got for us, Speed? What you got for us?
Alright, and do them slowly, Speed.
Yes. Speed.
Hello.
Yes, he's not even in the
Yeah.
room. Yes, he has departed from us. Yeah, wait, let's see. Is he even still in this?
Yeah, he's still online. He's still online.
He's still online, but why is he out of the room?
Messaging.
Like, why would you leave the?
Honestly, Triforce, if I get paid tomorrow, because I'm still waiting to get paid for my job, and okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Speed, why did you leave the room? We're on stream. We're waiting for you.
I'm sorry. No, someone is being annoying and just spam called me. So like I pushed the no button and it automatically made me join the call.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, so let's move forward. So we're on page 20 something, and we're trying to get to the next record now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, League of Legends page now.
Yep, we're on the League of Legends cosplay page.
Okay.
Cosplay.
Yes, we're gonna skip that. Like.
Yeah, give us the actual League of Legends like records and stuff.
Oh, we already talked about that.
No, we didn't. You were going to, and then Lance wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Most wins at the LOL World Championship. The
Oh,
team
no, he's right. We talked.
Yeah, no,
about
we just heard that. No, we just heard that, but we didn't actually get an answer.
Oh, okay.
I remember
yeah,
this. Yeah.
Go on.
South Korea's SKT Telecom T1 has won its Summer Cup 3 times in 2013, 2015, and 2016.
I don't like
Okay.
Faker. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. I don't like Faker, B.
What's their reasoning for it? Like, he has by far the hardest worth ethic of like any player.
I know he does. I'm just hating. There's
Oh,
there's
okay.
no real reason. I'm just hating.
You're just hating because he's good. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I hate it.
Okay. Fair enough. I can do that sometimes too. Okay, next, and just so you know, Triforce, a lot of these records that we're gonna hear from Speed are probably gonna just be SKT, because their coach is just god tier. It's really their coach that led to their long term winnings.
I believe
Yeah.
it. Well, Phil is in here, so Phil knows about this. Like,
Yeah.
Phil, where are you at?
His headset, he's muted. He can't hear us either. He's deafened.
God.
There were a lot of LOL stuff.
Yeah, keep on going, Speed.
Oh wait, no, 'cause I want to get Phil in on this. Hold on, let me hit him up on Facebook. Wait,
Okay.
Is he? Where is he? He's not even in the room.
He's in here. He's femur father, right there.
Oh my goodness, I'm not used to that stupid name.
God damn.
He's the bone daddy.
Okay, let me tell him get back in the room. I want to, cause if anyone could give us any true like,
No, trust me, Triforce. I know a lot about the League of Legends scene, so I've been following it for 4 years.
He
very closely.
He plays Challenger for the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, that's just skill. That's about. I'm not denying his skill, right?
No.
I'm just talking about the competitive scene wise.
Yes,
like,
I'm telling you. All right, watch this. Just stay here for a second.
yeah, I mean, watch probably like 500 hours worth of competitive games.
Okay, Spanish Town. Okay, Pikmin 3 Battle Tournament. How do we make this happen? It's actually very possible to make that happen.
Have I been summoned?
Yes, you have been summoned. Good. Okay, so we're talking about the Guinness Book of World Records 2018 Gamers Edition, and we're at the League of Legends section. So, can you reread the Faker's record for me, Speed?
Sure. Most wins of LOL World Championship. South Korea's SKT Telecom T1 has won its Summer Cup 3 times: 2013, 2015, and 2016.
Also, fun fact about that, the only year they didn't win the Summer Cup, which was 2014, the team that beat them went on to win the World Championship the same year.
That's Samsung, right?
Yeah, that's Samsung White.
Samsung white boy.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of debate on whether Samsung White 2014 or SKT 2016 was the better team.
Samsung 2014 is the best team I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
They were very good, but I feel like SKT 2016 was a little better. But anyway, I think we should go on to the next record.
No, I think we should have an argument on that. Let's get into the debate.
Okay. We can talk about it.
Oh, shit.
Okay, wait. So the coaching staff of SKT is coaxing those players to be better than they really are. But fucking Samsung White, I have never seen teams get demolished that quickly. Like their ability to force a game into overdrive in terms of the speed of the game, I have yet to see that ever. I saw them dive 3 goddamn towers to kill somebody. They all lived, and then they took fuking Baron.
Yeah,
at the opposite side of the map. That shit was ridiculous. The entire team was like, hey, we're doing this. And they just dove past 3 goddamn towers to kill their team.
Right.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, so I'm not denying their mechanical skill was godlike, right? But I feel like a lot of their skill had to do with the meta and the patch. Because if you look at Samsung's players, right? A lot of them, except for like 1 or 2 of them, I need to look up the names because I don't remember them all by name. But the vast majority of them all fell off by the end of Season 5. Because they couldn't maintain that high level of skill.
Well, I can tell you why they fell off. They fell off because they all broke up because the money came in. They were every single one of them got separated, and a few of them went to China. Like they all got separated into an environment they weren't like ready for. They're not individually players that take over the game. Together, they were incredible. They were like 5 pieces of Voltron. And the money, the insane money that was offered to them after seeing that fucking rout of the world championships, like that, I would not blame each of those people for the $1 million that they took. Like I'm not against that.
Yeah,
it's just that exactly. But the fact remains that if Korea had the money that China did and they stayed together, I don't think anyone would have been able to deal with them.
That's why I would have stayed together regardless. I wouldn't care. I would have like, listen, we may not get the money right now, but long term. Here's the prime example, and I don't mean to cut you off on Phil. It's a situation what they said with the Chicago Bulls, right? Where Michael Jordan was trying to come back after his father was killed or whatever. Michael Jordan had a condition to come back. He knew they were going to ship Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson was not sure he was going to stay. And Michael said, I am not coming back unless I have Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson. And they said, well, we can't afford. Pippen's contract ended. He's willing to resign, but Pippen wants this amount of money because he was underpaid for his first 10 years in the NBA. He was being paid $2 million a year for 10 years. And like, what? Scottie Pippen can't live off that when Jordan was making like $100 million. So Michael Jordan said, I will take a pay cut and give Pippen $40 million. Jordan took a cut. You know why? Because he knew he could make more money winning than if they were ever were to give him individually a contract. A lot of stupid sports players do not understand this concept. They run on a team, they focus on 100 million. Like for instance, the situation with Kyrie Irving. Like, Kyrie, really? You're gonna go to the Boston Celtics? What are the chances of you winning? He's not gonna win. He's probably 1 or 2 years in, he'll be a top player and everyone will know him and he'll make money off of whatever the league, but he's not gonna get that win. And if you don't win, you never can get that real money. Michael Jordan.
Now wait.
Right,
now it's bad to compare because that's something that has a lot more money infused into it, and these are players who were maybe making like $30,000.
No, they were making more than 30,000 in Korea.
How much were? Do you know how much Samsung went?
I can look it up. It might take me a little bit.
I know it's more than 30,000.
Yeah, I know for a fact
players are literally millionaires.
No, whoa. You can't compare.
Some, not all of them.
Yeah. You can't compare every region. Yeah. First of all, America.
No, I know. I meant in the context of like who we're talking.
Yeah, the top.
Like those guys are like, they're millionaires.
I'm pretty sure Faker at least was getting paid like $500,000 in 2015.
That doesn't count for streaming. They make mass amounts of streaming money.
Okay, but You guys are not remembering what 2014 was like. Number one, they had to stream on Azubu. They weren't streaming on Twitch. They didn't have the same they didn't have the same type of money.
No, I'm talking about streaming as in personal money, as in them streaming themselves.
We're talking about salary. We're talking about
contract. No, they weren't allowed to, King. That's
they weren't allowed to. This is 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, that shit was the Wild West, man. Didn't have as much infrastructure as now.
Yeah.
Like SKT just started streaming on Twitch this year. Like we had people like fucking I'm a Cutie Pie making millions of dollars off this shit, and the best in the world is not allowed to stream because of fucking fucked up rules in their contract.
Cause the suits got them.
But what I'm trying to say is that back then, like you say they weren't you say they were making more money than that, but like what's it called? The Rocks Tigers were also not making, like, they were making shit money like that. Rocks Tigers
did have air conditioning in their house, and they were the second best team in the world because they couldn't get sponsors.
They didn't have air conditioning?
Yeah,
they did not have air conditioning.
Oh, I don't want to smell that room.
They were how do you put this? I think they were the spiritual successors to Samsung White. They just,
I mean, none of the players were similar. I'm
talking about the individual skill transcending, like when they're together, their strength was transcending how good they were individually, other than the top laner. But they didn't have the same infrastructure as SKT. SKT was able to they were out coached.
Yeah.
The coach of SKT is an absolute monster, and
Koma's I don't think anybody's arguing that Koma's not the best coach in League.
Is it Koma or is it Kakoma?
No, it's Koma. It's pronounced Koma.
Because I like saying Kakoma.
Kakoma. All right, but getting back to just the best team thing, right? I definitely agree with what you said about how much Samsung White pub stomped, but that's exactly the point, right? They were a team that was hyper aggressive in the early game. But in the late game, while their shot calling was still good, they started to fall apart, which is why they had a losing record except for in Worlds against their sister team, Samsung Blue. Samsung Blue was a much better team in terms of shot calling, and if a team could last against Samsung White until the 40-minute mark, especially in Season 4, where games lasted very long, Samsung White just kind of fell apart in some cases. If we're looking at just their score during their Worlds run respectively, Samsung White in 2014 lost 2 games. They won 1 in the finals versus that Chinese team, Royal Club or something, and then they lost 1 game against TSM. And the reason they lost that 1 game against TSM were because they decided to disrespect TSM and pick an entire comp of 80 assassons. So that just shows that they
I remember that shit.
Yeah, and that shows that yeah, they just didn't care. They went like Talon, Zed, and like an AD Fizz or some shit, I forgot, right? But that's the thing, right? They didn't have nearly as much discipline as SKT in 2016. Well, 2016 SKT might have not been as flashy as Samsung White, right? They were much more disciplined and much more well-rounded, and they still had players who were each at least top 3 in the world in all of their positions.
At the time, yes.
At the time, no, still most of them. Bang and Wolf are still, in my opinion, the best bot lane in the world. 2016, was the jungler always Bangy, or was Blank on the team in 2016?
Blank was on the team.
Blank was on the team, yeah, and they kept on swapping, right? And Marin was hands down the best top laner at the time. And Faker's the best mid laner. So yeah, I guess you're right. Bangy's kind of gone now, and Marin kind of fell off. But at least our mid lane and bot lane, it wasn't still his top tier.
Is LOL a really popular team?
It's the most played video game and the biggest esport.
I don't think that Wolf is the best support in the world.
I'm not saying the best duo. They have the best synergy. I'm not talking about individual skill.
Okay.
I think they complement each other the best.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with the results.
And just one last thing, right? Your point about how SKT was kind of better just as a result of their coaching staff. Well, the whole question here isn't who had the better individual players, right? It's a team, and the team includes the coaches and the infrastructure that's built around them. And
but what I was trying to say with that point is that they had more years to become a stronger team under the tutelage of one coach with the same players in the same roles. Like they Samsung White didn't have that opportunity. They weren't given that. They either would have stayed together and been under whatever contracts they would have renewed, and I'm sure it wasn't as much what they were going to get from their separation, or they separate like they did and actually basically be able to live off of whatever they make there for the rest of their lives, which is what they are probably going to do if they're intelligent. It's not a fair comparison. It's somebody it's a team that was cultivated for years and years and years, versus a team that made every team in the league, including SKT, look bad.
Yeah. Well, the meta for SKT was just kind of bad at that time, and they just didn't adjust to it very well.
And well, you have to be able to adjust to the meta.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's an excuse, right? I'm just saying that was kind of the reason. Like, they still had Piglet on their roster at the time, and that was from when the you saw Piglet cry meme came out, or yeah.
And the other thing is that Samsung Blue was only a better team when it came to beating Samsung White. It's like they knew exactly how to beat them. They're the ones who practiced, and when the matchup came between the two of them, the Samsung Blue would generally be the victor. But they also switched mid laners when Worlds came out.
Yeah.
So that changed the dynamic of which team was better. They increased the strength of Samsung White's mid lane by switching the two, Pawn and Dade, I think.
Yeah, Pawn and Dade switched.
Yeah. So we don't know how strong the Samsung White team was versus we did see it.
Yeah.
They beat them, but before that, Samsung Blue would always win. But then they switch mid laners, which completely changes the dynamic where you can place your strength. If the mid lane is crushing it, if they're really strong and they have a lot of pressure, it opens up the enemy jungle for warding, for pressure. It lets you do a lot, and for an aggressive team like Samsung White to get a better mid laner, a more aggressive mid laner, it really changed. It seems like a small change, but it's a giant change to the things that they can do, the things that they're allowed to do. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay. So, that's why I wanted to have that conversation. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, we heard you.
Okay, that's why I wanted to have that conversation, because like I said, Phil actually plays the game. He's playing the game right now. He's playing the game right now while we're talking about this. He's been the only League of Legends a consistent player for EMP. He actually played in the Cyberbox Esports League for League of Legends. Highest placing he's ever gotten is second with the team. He played in 2 tournaments and he got second in both of them. But he plays.
I know. I mean, as far as individual skill, yeah, Phil's obviously better than you, right? But we can still have a even discussion about
that's what I want.
Debating two teams and stuff. Yeah,
that's exactly what I want.
At the end of the day, the whole debate between those two teams, really just we can never get those two teams in their prime and have them face off each other because it just can't happen anymore, right?
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the only reason I say SKT over Samsung White, and keep in mind they're still very close in terms of skill for their time, is just discipline. That's the only reason. I just felt like SKT was much more controlled and disciplined, and Samsung White just kind of trolled with TSM. Listen, if SKT trolled in a game like Samsung White did with TSM, every single member in SKT is getting the belt from Kona. They are going to get the belt, and you know it. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Before you jump in with that, Phil, I just want to address the people in the YouTube chat because they're saying a bunch of things. Calibus, what's going on? Shout out to everyone. Jordan is not a racist. He's just I'm keeping my opinions about Jordan to myself. All right. So anyway, someone asks, what is the Ascensions? The Ascension, the Road to the Elder Gods. That's the Video Game Hall of Fame. In fact, in our next stream that we're going to be doing a whole thing. I may have to hold it off until tomorrow because it looks like this particular stream is gonna run for a while. So I think I will hold that off to tomorrow. But tomorrow we're gonna be doing some nominations for the International Video Game Hall of Fame class of 2017, and that's class of 2016 is this year. That's where I'll be going. I'm gonna be inducted in there, trying to raise money so that we can have an entire group trip so that we can all go down there. So definitely we need you guys to help on that. You can support us by making a donation. As you can see, we're at 20%. We're $1,500. So please show us your support and donate to help us get there. Let's see something. Someone says can't paste the link. I say we just don't have the tournaments in the city. Okay, Triforce, how's everything out there? It's okay. It's a small tropical storm, but we're holding out. And then look at that, the internet. Oh my God. Ugh.
What happened?
It's fluctuating. 0. Look at this.
Oh yeah, you're lagging right now. Oh, the stream's fine though. The stream didn't go down for me.
It's shredding our internet. It's shredding our connection. Please bear with us.
Oh yeah, now the stream is offline.
Yeah, see, went offline.
I'll let them know we'll be back.
By the way, Travis, when will the reviews start coming in?
Huh? You said when will the what start coming in? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Someone just asked me when will something start coming in. That's it. And I didn't hear what it is. I'm asking them what did they say.
Oh, I think it might have been Speed. I'm not sure.
Where's Speed?
Speed, you here? Hello?
He's in here. He's just not speaking.
Yeah, he's in here. He's just not
Like
talking.
he did, and then came back, but he's not saying anything. Right?
Why is this bothering you so much, Travis?
Because he's a kid, and I can't scream on him because he's a kid.
Why would you scream at somebody for saying something and then disappearing?
Because
That seems extreme.
Because like kids don't, their brains just don't operate the same way, and it's frustrating because it's like you can't get mad.
Jesus Christ!
What I'm trying to say is that why would you get mad? It's just an unfinished conversation.
Nah, that's not it.
It's everything else on top of that.
It's a bunch. We hear you, Pauldron. We hear you. That's why it's a frustration. It's not. If it was just we just disconnected, it wouldn't be an issue. But when it comes to him in particular, it's always something. You don't want to. There's a past with him. For instance, hey, I need a thumbnail. Can you take a picture in 12?
Speed's back, by the way.
1220
it's
by
not me. It's my
720?
internet.
Okay.
Oh, she said his internet's bad right now.
Okay. When that happens, like for instance, when my stream goes down on the stream itself, I type in the YouTube chat, hey guys, having lag problems. I don't leave them to wonder what's going on. You type to them so that they know. You can't, like, you're in the chat. I'm having lag problems with Discord as well. My stupid bar keeps going to red and back, which we're having a tropical storm. Like, you can't just leave and then not say anything.
The thing is, I didn't know I left. Like, it just started saying connecting, so I just turned on my OT. So I didn't even know until I just didn't realize you guys weren't talking at all.
See, that's fair.
You know, there's a reason why God will never give me power.
Oh God.
Yeah, there is.
And it's a good thing he doesn't give me power. I'm glad. I couldn't. Nah, I just couldn't. Now I know why God doesn't give certain people power. Cause like to me, I would have heard that, and that would have been it for your city. Your whole city would have suffered for it. I would have just on some Thanos shit, just destroy the whole city. Anyway. Yes. So anyway, let's continue. So we're okay.
All right.
We'll finish up the League of Legends discussion and we'll go to the next record. Please be on standby.
Leggings?
League of Legends, and please be on standby, Speed, because we're gonna need to go to the next record. I don't want to take up too much time with League, so I'm gonna give it back to Sahil and KDZ. Go on.
Wait, I thought we were
for the next record, like, are we going on to the next League of Legends record?
No.
Or...
Phil had something to say. I think
you gotta go to
I
the
didn't.
League of Leggings.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so
No, our conversation was done. We settled on it. Like there isn't really any answer for it. It's just different opinions. There's a lot of factors.
Oh, okay. So the answer is that EMP is the best League of Legends team in the world. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
League of Leggings.
Phil can 1v1 Faker easy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But Speed, what's the next record that we have on deck?
Time. Because I have to go for the cosplay page.
You're not answering fast enough. No, go on.
We're now
chill.
I'll play. Go on.
I don't believe it.
We're now on the Legend of Zelda page.
Okay, let's go.
The largest collection of Legend of Zelda memorabilia. There's just a large collection made by Norway Anna Marta. She has 1,816 individual items collected throughout the series.
Okay. Do you guys think that's a record worthy of being in the book?
Well, keep in mind, Tri-First, if they kept every record in the book to a very high standard, the book wouldn't be very long.
No. This is an opinion. First of all, it's a gamer's edition, so it's records about games. So we're just being constructive about it, like what we think is good for the book and what is not good for the book. At the end of the day, Guinness is gonna put whatever the hell they want to put in the book.
Yeah, like they put a record for Smosh's video about the Legend of Zelda rap. Because it was the most viewed film based on the Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that record sucks, but that's just me. But go on.
Because
there's also one about the fastest blindfolded compilation of
that guy is
past.
godlike.
The fastest what? Go on.
Fastest blindfold compilation of the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
He did Link to the Past blindfolded?
Yes.
Yep.
Holy shit.
And he has a compilation of it. He also did Ocarina of Time, just to let you know.
Yo, how would you do a 3D game blindfolded?
I've actually seen someone do that before. It was fun.
How? Oh my god. Okay. That's pretty insane.
And there's also one more.
The audio in the
fastest marathon as a video game character. John Kelly ran a marathon as Link.
So he just cosplayed as Link and ran a marathon.
Yeah, it's basically the guy from Ocarina of Time.
Another suck ass record. That's just as bad as me standing in the line for Nintendo Switch.
This is probably one of the worst ones. One of the bad ones. Most followed game cosplayer on Instagram. Jessica Nera. She's here portraying Link.
Jessica who?
Negri.
Jessica Negri. She's
Negra. I don't think this one should.
I don't
It's mainly for her bust.
Yeah.
I don't like this record because she does many cosplays and it's only basing her off one cosplay that she does, which is Zelda. She's not really focusing on Zelda. At least that's not how it's portraying to me when I read this.
What does a record say?
Gaming personality Jessica Nera, here portraying Link, had 2.3 million Instagram followers. Jessica's cosplay a range of gaming characters as well, and provided the voice for the manga and game characters Super Sonical.
Okay, so yeah, then that's fair. She's there dressed up as Link, but they talk about her overall resume as a cosplayer. It's not like they focus it on it. She's just dressed as Link, and it's in the Zelda section. All right, moving on.
All right, to the next selection.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in The Last Guardian. I remember this game. Longest development period of an action adventure. This game was out for this game took for nearly 10 years. Originally planned for PS3, it hit PS4 on 6th of December 2016. I've never played this game. I've heard it's really good. And I can't believe it took 10 years to make
It's Final Fantasy 15.
No, you're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, my friend.
Really? Wait, what?
No, I'm just saying it's the release period is as long as how Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even longer.
But the actual records for Final Fantasy 15, right?
No, this is The Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian?
Yeah, you never heard of it?
Yeah, no, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense.
It's that game that got delayed like 20 times.
Yeah, the Shadow of Colossus sequel, that was really bad.
Apparently. Yep, it says actually right here, Tallus, Colossus, and Shadow of the Colossus in the PS2 Classic.
Yeah.
Let's confront 16 mountains being known as Colossal. The final one is the biggest one.
So what category are we on right now?
The Last Guardian.
No, like what's the section of this book called? Like what does it focus on?
Fantasy, The Last Guardian.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All right,
That's
so
cool.
let's move.
Some people don't listen.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Yes.
And now we're on the Final Fantasy.
Oh boy.
Longest development period for RPG. Oh my god.
Next record. Next. I
just want to know which game was it. What game was it?
Wait. We're getting off track. We're supposed to be looking for people, the gamers. I don't care about the games. I really don't. Like, I don't want to hear a record about an actual video game. I want to hear a record about the people. The content is the games. I want to talk about the context, the people in the games. So let's talk about the people in the records the people get. So when you go into a section, look for a person, please, and look for their record. I don't want to hear longest digital ringtone for a video game. Like, no, I don't care about that.
I actually don't think I see any people.
Then leave that section. The section's trash.
Or Vangloria. I don't know what that is.
Vanglory.
I never heard of it. Youngest winner of a major Vangloria tournament. Raya Hayagan, second form, was aged 13 years, 68 days when he led Hamas Verity to victory at Vanglory's North America Spring Championship.
So he's the youngest guy that played a game Vanglory and led a team to a championship. It's a pretty decent record. All right, pretty decent record. Okay, moving on.
Oldest player to complete in the Vanglory World Championship. Queen
Elizabeth.
Who?
China's Queen, aka Panrule Tana, was aged 29 years, 289 days when her team Hunters was knocked out in the quarterfinals on December 3rd. The event only female has qualified for every major Vanglory competition. Oh, that's nice. It's one of the first females, I guess.
All right.
Doesn't sleep that.
Moving on.
The next selection, Skylanders. Longest collection of Skylanders memorabilia is Christopher Delez's. He collected 4,100 unique items of Skylanders.
How old does this person look?
He looks like he's like 20 or 30 or something. Like maybe 25, late 30s.
So this is not a child.
No, it's not a child.
I mean, collecting Skylanders is like the same thing as collecting action figures, in my opinion. Anyway.
It is action figures. It's like collecting amiibos or whatever the case may be. So that's not the thing. I have a different issue regarding that. Like, I don't know, collectors. See, I'm a collector, an actual collector, and I have a problem with certain types of ways people do collecting or give credit to collectors. A collector should be someone who collects over time. It shouldn't be a record that's just someone who had the money to buy. I think that cheapens the value of the collection, because it's like, okay, Skylanders is a relatively new thing. Why is this guy getting a record for something that's relatively new? He just bought everything. Like, I could be a millionaire, come take his record if I really wanted to, because it has nothing to do with time. I'm just like, oh, who has a world record? This guy got the world record on Skylanders. Okay, here's 59. No, if is $10 million. Go get me everything Skylanders. I'm gonna call Guinness and tell him come get this record.
I mean, they might not be able to get certain things. Like,
yeah, like some things are.
There were a
exclusive.
couple of Skylanders
No?
that were only like 2 or 3 of them ever made.
If I have money, I'm getting what the I want. I bet I put money to you. I'm getting it. I will call the company and say, I need this reprinted. We don't make that
yeah,
anymore.
but then it'll be a reprint, so it won't be the record.
No, it doesn't. It's not talking about the prestige of the collection. It's just talking about having the largest collection. They're not talking about the rarity. That's why I said I have a problem with certain things. If it's about the rarity, then it's fine. There's certain things money cannot buy because it's rare. But this guy can just go buy everything. So yeah, you're right. I 100% agree with you there. But then like the Skylanders or whatever it's called Skylanders came out what 4 years ago, 5 years tops. It's some new thing where you could get an Abimo. I can go on eBay and just outbid everyone and get it. Someone who's been collecting the rarest thing, $10,000. I'm the only one with it. Well, I don't have a big Skylanders collection. It's just this one piece I have. I'll sell it and sell it. He has the money for it. So anyway, I'm sorry. I digress.
Hearthstone. Yeah. Most pro wins. Dutch Hearthstone master Dias Marduk, as of 24th, 2017, won 108 pro matches playing as Drud, according to Gruus Gamers. The player was European champion, both 2015 and 2016. That's nice. Hearthstone. Longest single turn on 25th March 2015. Francis Morik Hen took 1 day and 21 hours, 18 minutes to complete a turn. The average turn takes around 90 seconds. However, Mark exploded a loophole that enabled him to fire 752 arcane missiles instead of the usual 3.
Yeah, I saw this video. It was just an exploit with some interactions in the cards.
Pretty much, so you can get the longest time. Most Twitch followers for a Hearthstone player. Canada Tournament Pro Octavian Carpoop. Marjorie has attracted over 9 million followers. I mean, not 9 million. 9,000 followers to his Nile Coop Twitch channel. Page. Lord of the Rings. Let me see. I actually don't see nobody, so let me change. World of Warcraft.
Alright, this is gonna have some.
No, Warcraft, I said.
Okay.
Most viewed Warcraft channel on Twitch. As of 31st March 27, veteran adventurer Roberto Taro Garcia was the most watched Twitcher dedicated to the fantasy franchise, according to Mighty. Over 100 million views. I have been tanking on a progressive level. Whatever. Longest WoW marathon. Spanish gamer Harita Camocach. English above on a PC for 29 hours, 31 minutes. This epic run on 29th through 30th March 2004 was also the record for the longest marathon on an MMO RPG.
Okay.
Dark Souls. Okay.
I don't know why everyone makes a big deal about this game.
Because Dark Souls is a really well-made franchise. It's not just about the difficulty. The games are just very good.
Okay. I guess so.
Fastest time to defeat the Nameless King using only feat in Dark Souls 3.
What?
Oh, he beat the Nameless King with only kicks?
No, it is just his feet. No feet, no nothing.
Oh, like he uses his feet for the controller. Yeah, I saw that.
He put his feet on the PS4 controller and he beat him like that.
Yeah, he beat it with his feet.
Come on, Guinness.
No, that's actually pretty impressive, Triforce. The Nameless King is like the hardest boss in the franchise.
Come on, man. Come on, son.
Okay, that in my opinion takes more skill than beating Link to the Past blindfolded.
I don't know about that, B. That's a large claim there.
I think so, because since Link to the Past is grid-based, it's really just about memorization.
Okay, I don't think... Okay, I feel like this is fake, because it took him 2 minutes and 41 seconds. But
no, you can beat the Nameless King in that time if you have the right gear.
beating the hardest boss in the game in 2 minutes with your feet.
It's not about the speed he did it at. It's
the
just
hardest
about not
boss
getting hit.
in the game. No, you gotta count cutscenes and stuff like that. And even if they don't, I mean, it's like some frames where he's invincible in only 2 minutes.
You can speed.
Okay. I'm turning the page. I'm not dealing with that.
All right, go on.
He just wants to diminish the record for whatever reason.
Who, me?
No, Speed.
Go on. I'm diminishing the record. I don't give a shit.
Fantasy Roundup. Ding, ding, ding. On longest RPG marathon on 6th through 8th March 2012, the 5-man U.S. crew, the Great Falls Gamers, dived into the Elder Scrolls Skyrim mystical expenses for 48 hours. The record was set at the Montana State longest FPS marathon. That's nice.
Okay.
That's it.
What section?
That's like
what section was that in?
That was the fantasy roundup.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to hear about the roundup, man. Move on to the next page. Go to the next section. Let's look for another player.
Right. This is the Japanese roundup.
The Japanese roundup. All right, we're gonna straight skip that. So let's move.
Don't skip
There's something about Goku too.
Nah, I actually, you know something? I tell you what. Let's go into that section. You talk about that. I'm gonna go get some bread.
God. The longest serving video game voice actor, the actress Margaret Zara voiced Dragon Ball Z's Son Goku for 23 years in 2019.
Yeah, but that's an anime. That's just an anime that happened to have a video game adaptation. That's so stupid. Just
Dragon Ball Z Super Burden 2, Dragon Ball Z Universe 2.
Well, not just one, like a bunch. A bunch of games.
I still think that's stupid, though.
Like a bunch of games.
Like, it would be different if she voiced it as somebody who's a dedicated video game character for 23 years.
There's also something for Dragon Quest. Oldest video game music composer. Karichi Saraji was born in commissioned to write music for Dragon Quest in 1986. He was still going strong, aged 85 years, 46 days. And for Dragon Quest Heroes 2 was released. He also scored Dragon Quest XI to be released in 2017. Don't get triggered because I don't know what XI is. Nope, horror roundup. We're gonna skip this. Virtual glitches. We're gonna skip this. Sci-fi. Subscribe female game broadcaster on YouTube. Has Cupcake, aka Tiffany Hearn, has had over 5 million subscribers as of 29th of March 2017. Most viewed female game broadcaster on YouTube. Okay. And she's dressed up like Diva. Okay. Overwatch. Most matches played by a pro Overwatch player Season 2. Overwatch competitive is divided into seasons that typically last 2 to 3 months. In Season 2, Anton Cooler, single of the team Anox, completed in 1,504 matches, achieving a respectable 51.07 rate. Created by Hollywood designer Steve Wang, created the largest Overwatch figure. Tallest man Emperor Robert Rodu. The figure was designed in a giant box at the game's launch. Star Wars. Oh god. Tallest Star Wars cosplay costume. Created by Jun Shiki and his Order 66 Creatures and Effects Studio. Fully mobile costume of the Force Awakens Grumbler and the heights 2.69 m. You guys might not care. It took 100 days to build and was designed to replicate the official height of the character. The fastest completion of Star Wars Battlefront survival mode without blasters. Team lifted Force with Liam and Jake Thompson, aka Twinson, on 7 April, playing on Battlefront's Rebel Day format at Genesis World Records headquarters in London, UK. They beat all 15 waves of this shot survival mode. 10 minutes.
All right, so that's what's the next section?
Halo.
Okay, thank you. We made it to a section. that matters.
Forget you, Oblivion.
Thank you. I was gonna die. Longest Halo marathon. Playing in a shopping mall in Helsinki, Finland. Superfan Pavel Naske played on 5 main Halo titles for 50 hours, 4 minutes, and 17 seconds.
What was the purpose? Just time? Marathon?
Yeah, pretty much. Longest Halo marathon.
All right, go on.
Largest prize pool for a console tournament. Was held at the line of a resulting prize of 2.5 million was held at the line of 216 Halo World Championships. I'm trying to see who won. At the contest, the U.S. team Counter Logic Gaming blasted their way to victory in Halo 5, pocketing a first prize of $1 million. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Or in Destiny. Twitcher King Gotham is a long. Wait, what?
I hate that they call them Twitchers and not Twitch streamers. It's really aggravating.
No, it doesn't say anything about him, so might as well just skip it.
Good.
I guess you can say it's got you twitching.
Exactly, Pauldron, exactly.
Doom. Heaviest cosplay 3D printed cosplay prop. Created by UK studio My Mini Factory on 23rd April 2016. A 3D printed model of Doom's BF gun weighs 15 kilograms. This is lame. Anyone can do this. Anyone can go print a giant gun. That doesn't work.
Next, move to the next record. These sound, yo, you gotta pick out some good records, man, because these sound like some.
Bruh. These records, some of these don't have like one.
Yeah, well, you're kind of limiting him to only people, right? There's probably some really good records that are just like also about the game.
Yes, but like.
Yeah, but then again, I'd rather be doing it people because if there's so many digital records of people, they don't show people. Like there's some about mods and stuff.
I'd rather just focus on the people.
Okay.
Skipping this too. Space Sims roundup. Sci-fi roundup. Oh no.
Nah, skip those. That got nothing to do with gaming. They start going into other stuff. It relates around game. Oh, there was a record in there that actually is important if you go in the sci-fi area. The longest video game franchise.
Longest running video game franchise between I was actually going to say this before you said skip it. Mike Manfred's text-only adventure Star Trek.
Yep.
In Cyberpunk Star Trek Online. I've actually never heard of that game.
Star Trek, yeah. Star Trek is actually older than Pac-Man, older than Zelda, older than Mario, older than all of them.
Yeesh.
Which I thought I was like, that's a cool record to know. So we have to
Legends.
We have to somehow decide the people who make Star Trek so Link can get ahead. Go on.
Highest score on Donkey Kong for more than 35 years. Die-hit arcade fans have battled to rule the scoreboard on Nintendo on Nintendo's 1981 classic award that was immorted, The King of Kong, Webb's Cobbled as of Mario and Jumpman. West Copeland. Yeah. Achieved in 1,000 hole of 1,218,000 scored. It's not only topped his early record set on April 2016. Probably said the score wrong. The year of Pokemon Go. I'm skipping this. Nope.
Wait a minute. What section are you in?
I'm in the year of Pokemon Go, and the next one is Pokemon.
Before that, how did you read that? Oh, West Copeland took up the whole page. I forgot about that.
And I was like, we don't want to hear about Pokemon Go.
No, we don't. I'm glad we agree on that.
Oh crap, there's a Pokemon stage. Can I skip this one too?
No, just do the Pokemon thing actually.
Misha's on here. Who? The kid who sung Pokemon Go, the most viewed Pokemon song.
Oh, the I Play Pokemon Go thing?
Yeah.
He actually got a Guinness record for that? For that shitty song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, Guinness, this is going too far now, okay?
I told you. That's
why I wanted to skip it.
No, Guinness, this is too much, okay? I'm sorry, Guinness. I was fine with all the other stuff to a degree, but you crossed the line with this one, okay? I'm done. I'm fucking done.
I like how in the picture his eyes are closed.
Tripers, have you seen the I Play Pokemon Go song?
No.
No.
Triforce can't.
I think Triforce will actually call Guinness and complain if he watches the music video.
Probably would.
I know Triforce might give up on life once he sees the music video. I'm just being dead serious. Largest balloon costume, as verified of UK Tom Kent, created a Pikachu costume that measured 262 centimeters. It's like a large balloon costume. That's pretty cool. We're on the Super Mario Bros. Section. Fastest blindfolded completion of Super Mario World, smashing its previous record published in Gamers Edition. 2017, Alex Pangara Panda 10 finished 1990 Super Mario World in 15 minutes 59 seconds on August 2016 while blindfolded. Actually died in the technical. Okay, whatever. Actually, I think that's it. Wait, what? The largest collection of Super Mario memorabilia, Japanese collector Mitsuo Kaishi has assumed a PG pile of 5,441 items of Mario memorabilia. Super Mario Maker.
Oh my goodness, Mario Maker.
I feel like I want to skip. Should I just skip this one? I mean, like.
Yeah, because it's just not a. Yeah.
It's not really that much. I'm on a Mario Kart, okay?
Oh boy.
What? What's wrong with Mario Kart?
This is your stuff, Oblivion.
Most Super Mario Kart Championships trophies. Victory of 2016 Super Mario Kart Championship brought the trophy tally of France's front launcher to 8 gold and 3 silver, only in the first of its 12 appearances. Longest Mario Kart Series marathon. Australian gamers Josh, Alexander, Harry, and Telfor, Matt Smith, and James Heckman played the Mario Kart series on the Nintendo 64, Wii U for 35 hours, 45 minutes on the 4th through 5th July 2014. Yeesh.
What was that first one again?
The first one was the championship for Super Mario Kart champions, and now they got 30. They got 8 gold and 3 silver. All right, we're in Minecraft. Can I skip
Minecraft, please?
Can I skip this one?
I'm down with that. Skip that. Come on, man. No Minecraft.
Oh, Pac-Man. Fastest perfect compilation of Pac-Man. David Race first claimed the first completion title in 2009. C. Badge Right. He broke his own record on 22 May 2013 with a 3 hour, 28 minutes, and 49 seconds. Run as verified by Twin Galaxies.
Wait, you didn't read that record properly.
David Race first claimed the first completion title in 2009.
Okay.
He broke his own record in 2013.
Yeah, you didn't read that record properly. Read the whole record properly.
David Race first claimed the fast compilation title in 2019. Completion out.
Read the whole thing that involves David Race. Read the whole thing. The whole thing.
I'm about to.
Okay.
David Race first claimed the fast completion title in 2009. He broke his own record on 22 May 2013 with a 3 hour and 28 minutes 49 second run as verified by Twin Galaxy. Race followed the footsteps of Billy Mitchell, who achieved the first perfect completion of Pac-Man. Over 3 million points on 3rd of 1999.
You see my point I'm making? This guy sets a record and they talk about Billy Mitchell in it. This is what I'm talking about. Like,
will he beat Billy Mitchell's record?
No, they said he's following in the footsteps of Billy Mitchell. And although you could take that as a compliment, the point is it's kind of disrespectful because it's like it doesn't focus on the player, focuses on the guy that set the record at first. When you make a record and it says following in the footsteps, that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like
low key, you're just like following somebody.
Yeah.
We're on the Tetris praise. Oh my god, I want to skip this one. Okay.
No, we're gonna stay on that page. Damn it.
I know. I just wanted to see what you would say.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna read this run all the way out.
Wait, no. Go back to the Pac-Man page.
Oh, am I missing something?
Yeah, you're missing something. Right above to the upper right above David Race's record. Read that mini bite.
Yo, I like how Triforce does exactly.
At a Pac-Man 35th anniversary celebration, arcade legend Billy Mitchell showed the game's creator a trick that made the Ghost Gobbler invincible. Check out Pac-Man's 30th anniversary Billy Mitchell shows Tawi Iwata level 255 invincible on YouTube.
Okay, does anyone notice anything about that thing? That what he just read. Read it again, but read it slowly. I want to see who in here is paying attention.
At Pac-Man 35th anniversary celebration, arcade legend Billy Mitchell showed the game's creator a trick that makes the Ghost Gobbler invincible. Check out Pac-Man's 35th anniversary. Billy Mitchell shows Tawi Iwata 255 invincible run on YouTube. He showed the creator a trick that he basically showed the creator a trick that he didn't know was in his own game.
But yes, but we know that's what he did. But what does it? The record is telling you that the record is telling you to go where to do what?
YouTube.
And go to YouTube and do what?
Watch the video.
And what's the name of the video?
Check out Pac-Man 30th anniversary Billy Mitchell shows Toyota invincible run.
You don't notice anything? That's our video.
I already knew that.
Yes, but like I'm trying to get... Never mind.
Oh no, he's trying to say it'll give EMP exposure.
No, yeah, it gives EMP exposure. Like they're telling people to go watch our video.
I already knew that, but okay.
That's true. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to the most important record that I know Triforce is waiting for. Most wins on the classic Tetris World Championship. Jonas Newbrook.
Oh, you asshole.
Yeah, I won the Tetris World Championship 6 times. Most recently on 23rd October 2016 when they beat Jeff Moore. Alright, Tetris, I already knew. Largest video game collection, Joe Hopkins owns a show sustaining over 17,446 games as counted in Victoria, Australia on 12 January 2016. These include one of the ultra-rare Japanese Mega Drive versions of Tetris. Now for the record we've been waiting for, and I know Triforce has. Most wins against the Master Terabot in Tetris Ultimate in 24 hours. Several record breaker Isaiah Triforce Johnson.
No, first of all, you're reading that wrong. It's not several. It's serial.
Serial record breaker Isaiah Triforce Johnson registered 614 victories against Tetris Ultimate AI upon Master Terabot in a 24-hour live stream on 7 through 8 September 2016 when they played 1,217 games. During this battle at the Six Colossus Hotel in New York, Triforce described his foe in the 2-player game as the fastest and most difficult CPU Tetris opponent.
That's a misprint. That's actually a misquote. I said it's one of the fastest. I said the one on the 3DS is even faster, and then I said the Grandmaster Edition is the fastest. So they misquoted.
They didn't want they didn't want to put that in. They was like, oh no, let's limit it. You know.
All right. Oh, read next to it.
Most critically acclaimed Tetris game.
No, it's like literally it's the record that's next to it. I'm in there for 2 records. They're back to back, right next to each other. It's in the same thing.
Oh yeah, best-selling puzzle game Isaiah Triforce Johnson hopes the fastest time to achieve a perfect score on Tetris DS: 8 hours, 10 minutes, 22 seconds. Oh my god. Oh, as verified by Twin Galaxies.
Well,
19.
Which is not. Oh well, that's a slight error as well because that's actually verified by Guinness itself, not Twin Galaxies. But whatever.
Classic roundup we skip,
All
especially since Sonic go there. Puzzle roundup. We skip.
Yo, reverse says, there we go. The only record I cared about.
Games winning games. Oh, we already skipped. Superheroes.
Oh,
We skipped the.
Well, no. Read the superhero section.
This the front. No, this is the front cover. I'm not on Katie. I'm not on you know who's yet.
Okay. No, but that's not the only reason. There's a bunch. When you get to the superhero game section, there's a lot of godlike people on there.
I know I'm okay. 171, 529 ranking points won by Sonic Fox from Injustice God Among Us tournaments as tracked by Sure You Can.
Yeah.
Sure You Can. Brief history of superheroes. Okay, this is just a brief history. No stuff. Spider-Man. The Mighty Wolverine. Wait, what? The largest collection of X-Men memorabilia, having beginning his uncanny collection, Eric Jorxers of Iowa, USA, now owns 15,400 items relating to Professional X and his mutant prodigies. Yeesh. Batman stuff. Let me just.
Yo, Speed, you're making mad noise just to turn paper.
I'm just trying to get to the actual records. Stuff I don't even get. Most Evo Championship Series titles won. Established in
Taiwan, where are you? You're in the back of the book.
I'm in the back. I'm like on a few pages from the superhero section. Because the other stuff is about the games.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was at the back of the book. All right, never mind. Continue to read.
Established in 2002, the Evolution Championship Series (EVO) as an annual fighting game tournament held in the U.S. Justin Wong has won Right EVO titles for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in 2002, 2002 through 4, and 2006, 8, and 2010. Street Fighter 3, Third Strike 2v2 teams with Izo Shuri, Shukuri. Issei.
There you go.
Okay. Issei Shuriki in 2009 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in 2014.
You know, so funny. There's certain things I want to say, but for the integrity of certain things, and I just don't want to cause problems, I just keep certain secrets to myself. But go on. It's not important. We'll finish reading the rest. So
integrity.
Wait. Before we even get there, hold on. Phil.
I like how he's not in the VC.
Phil, he's not in the VC?
No.
Oh my God, the one time he needs to be here, he leaves. You see this foolishness, people?
You already know what I'm going to do to him.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
He's going to be so pissed.
No, let me go call him.
Alright.
What the random, what? Let me call him. Yo! Alright. He's coming back. Well, I don't think he's seen it. It doesn't say he's seen it yet. I want him to be here when you read it.
Yeah, I'll wait for him.
Alright. He's not even in the room. Why would you leave the room? I'm gonna set another Guinness record so I can be in the book again next year.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I like 7 records here that I need to just like somehow
You better do it because they're making the 2019 edition right now.
I'm already talking to people at Guinness, so I'm good. I know when it's gonna come and when it's not. I bide my time. In fact, I'm gonna be in the book. They accept this project that I'm gonna do for them. I'm gonna be in the book for something major. Where is Phil? We're gonna have to do it without him, cause Ferner Father Bone Daddy is not in here yet. Where's everyone in the chat? I don't know, B. Like that same thing I'm saying. Reverses mad people in the chat room, but everyone is quiet. No Oblivion.
Everyone.
No King Joker. No.
I'm playing the game.
So am I.
So am I.
So am I.
I'm playing Sonic Mania. Chill out.
So am I.
And you're reading a book?
Yeah.
Trying to get a world record, Marker 7.
I'm trying to get the world record for reading the Guinness book while playing Sonic Mania. You know, most tournament results for an Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 character. Player has achieved 1,241 results using Dr. Doom.
Who's this player again?
Wait, what? It showed Christopher Gonzalez.
Chris
That's
G. Oh, just to let you know, Justin Wong and Chris G are former members of EMP. I don't know if you guys knew that, but now you do.
The more you know.
If you don't know,
Mini bits. Injustice has featured only twice at EVO since the popular game released in 2013. Philip KDZ, Arcane below won a title in 2013, followed by the Queenic Sonic Fox.
Dominique Sonic Fox McLean.
In 2014, fans can look forward to players consisting its sequel Injustice 2 at the 2017 EVO. Alright. KDZ is one of our players. Oh my god.
What you said oh my god for?
Because there are so many just filler pages. No, just like giant game enemies, and then just superhero, more stuff about video games, but not players. Largest Game Boy, Bulletin Ellen, the giant version of the usual handheld Game Boy console, measured in Antwerp on 13 November 2016. It's a 3 feet, 3.7 inches. You guys don't care. The monster machine is fully functional with everything running off a Raspberry Pi, hidden in the oversized external connector sock. You guys might like that.
Yeah.
History of the world through video games. Nope. Just nope. Tomb Raider. Let me see. There's just a profile picture, but they don't say anything about her. Uncharted. Wait, what? Just another Twitcher. Brad the Threadbird. Colorburn. Fastest completion of Uncharted 4 Thief's End. With their global trotting plots and the Hollywood-style set pieces, Uncharted games have provided a dramatic playground for speedrunners. Mexicans Omar Zachary finished the most recent main stage blockbuster in 3 hours and 44 minutes and 56 seconds, as verified by speedrun.com. Or speedgamer.com. Call of Duty. Yeah, we're skipping that. Battlefield. Most times as the most valuable player in Battlefield 1, Xbox One, as of 17 March 2017, Field Music has been awarded the title of Best Player in 2,118 multiplayer scrims of the Xbox One. Xbox One, as the name suggests, most valuable player refers to the combatant who has been the most offensive on the battlefield. Pretty good. Counter-Strike. Let's see. Highest earning Counter-Strike player series as of 7 March 2017. Flip Neo Combustion had won over $600 from 168 Counter-Strike sources in Go events. Okay. Metal Gear. There's nothing.
Yes, past that. That's not even competitive.
No Espionage. No Grand Theft Auto. We're skipping that. We're about Assassins Run Up. Nope. Sim. Nope. Strategy Roundup. Nope. Wait, stay in here. I don't think I see anybody. Music Roundup. Nope. Room Escapes. No. Here we go. Some Rocket League sports. Most goals scored in a game of two. Too young to drive, but old enough to smash records. Smash Shipping and Rally Vivo. And Jami Genia Rajan stuck 56 goals against an AI opponent on Sysic's soccer-themed Destruction Derby. The record-breaking match took place at Legion of Legends of Gaming Sports in London. I swear, some parents be giving their kids some weird names.
Why you say that for?
I'm just saying, like, some people have some weird names. I just don't understand. Soccer Roundup. Nope. American football. There we go. Basketball.
Skip the sports section. No offense to the sports stuff, but come on, man.
Oh, there's one racing roundup. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's something important here. Longest standing video game record on September 1st, 1982. Todd Rogers set a time of 5.51 seconds on Activision's Drag Stars, verified by Twin Galaxies, that early Genesis World Records gaming record remained unbeaten for 34 years, 215 days as of 4th April 2017. And still to this day.
Hold that shit.
Canceled games. So we're in the fighting thing. Uh-oh. Let's see if Melee's in here. Street Fighter. Should I just skip this one? I mean, like, least popular character in Ultra Street Fighter. No. Actually, no, there's nothing. Largest prize pool for a fighting game tournament. The final 2016 Capcom Cup held on to the 13th December. Acclaimed California concluded a season-long hunt for Street Fighter V's 32 finest players. A prize pool of at least $350,000 was spent among the top 8 in an American final duel. Knuckly Doo defeated.
Knuckle Doo. That's another former member of EMP.
Dang,
you ever notice something in the Guinness Book of World Records? A lot of the members, the players that you hear in there, is all like ex-EMP members. You ever notice that? That's crazy, isn't it? Imagine if we all stuck together.
Yeah, I mean, they would be like the dream team right there.
Well, we were the dream team. That's just
I wonder what happened.
Money.
Tekken. Actually.
Yeah, Triforce, is that a new sponsor you have on stream with the energy drink? Or the mint?
No, that's an old sponsor.
That's an old one, so I asked about that a long time ago. And
okay, because I don't remember seeing that. Are they still a sponsor or no?
No, they're still a sponsor. It's just it's hard to make money off of them because every time we sell every now and then someone buys a what's the name of this thing here? Every now and then someone buys a new a product, but unfortunately it doesn't like we only get like a couple of dollars off of it, not even. Yeah, okay. A couple of dollars we do make a couple of dollars. I mean that's it.
Highest earning Tekken player, according to esports, Daichi Nobukin had won $55,000 by playing Tekken 6 and 7 as of 2 March 2017. Okay, skip the game. Super Smash Bros. Want me to skip it?
No, be fair.
Okay. Most viewed combo video on YouTube, hair by Rarity as the most nostalgic Super Smash Bros. Combo in history. You guys already know it. Wombo combo became a viral hit. You guys know. Wombo combo, that ain't Falco. That one video, everyone knows. And largest Super Smash Bros. Tournament at EVO Championships Series on 5 through 7 July 26th. The event stages across 2 venues in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's it. Oh, longest home run in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Melee features a mini game to which players pumped as a sandbag for 10 seconds and hit up a baseball film. Falcon YouTube video posted on November 2016. Mike HRR Typo Byerson played as F-Zero's Captain Falcon. Fighting game roundup. We skipped that. Wrestling. Should I skip wrestling? I mean, isn't that even esports?
It depends on how you want to look at it.
I wasn't really seeing any roles. Most licensed wrestler video game. No, it's not really much about wrestling. Oh, longest time to find a game Easter egg. On April 2016, YouTuber Mid-Western Housewife found a clue in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! 28 years, 203 games. 203 days after the NES game was released on 18th September 1987. A spectator nods during a rematch against Piston Hordale, signing when players should strike. And QuickCon, which I don't know what that is. And we're on speedrunning.com. That's pretty much the end of the book. Because it's just rest speedrunning.
The rest is speedrunning? Wow. You know, you want to hear something funny? That entire section that has speedrun in it, that used to be the Twin Galaxy section.
Wow. After that's just your favorite games. And just give them credit.
I think it's better that they use speedrunning.com than Twin Galaxies, personally.
Why don't they just do both? Because I feel like some people are going to miss Twin Galaxies.
Actually, I agree with that. I don't think they should have removed Twin Galaxies out for the speedrun, as much as I don't get along with the Twin Galaxies community. Like, and here's the main reason why. Twin Galaxies actually hosts some speedrun world records, whereas speedrun only does speedrun world records, and not you. First of all, you're limiting your crowd, your diversity, because you're only doing one particular type of record. You see what I'm saying? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I think
when they showed off a lot of speedrun records already. And then there's a whole section just dedicated to it. Why not just give it a mix of both?
Yeah.
Be honest, though, some of the records were pretty good, but some of them I just felt like didn't need to be in the book. But then again, they're just filler records to make the book longer and make more money off the book.
I think if Guinness had more contributors with more solid records, that they could actually make a book that's like a book that's gonna be like, wow, this is a real good book because this had the most records, that like significant records or whatever the case may be.
Well, I guess EMP is just gonna have to break some more records.
Well, we need to get winning. We need to get our winning back on and stop sucking so much.
Why isn't everyone talking anymore? I guess what do we do? Questions now?
Well, yeah. Now we do some questions. So, okay, everybody who's inside the stream, we got some Q&A. Let's go. What's good?
Let me pull up the chat again. Do.
Wow, people, really?
What's up?
What? What are you playing, Zero?
Mario Kart 7.
No. I don't play that. I don't like it.
I'm already in top 8 from one of the records. I'm trying to get it again.
Try first. Weren't we supposed to talk about our picks for the nominations for the Esports Hall of Fame now?
That's going to be a different stream. He said
Yeah,
that
it's
earlier.
gonna be a different.
Okay. Alright, my bad.
Tomorrow's the last day that some people might not have until school. So it'd be good to do that tomorrow since people
JP says
might have school.
all the record. He says out of all the records he read, what's your favorite record that's not non-EMP? Oh, see, but alright, I'm not no ex-EMP members because I was gonna say outside of EMP record, I think Justin's record is the best, but he's ex-EMP, so that's kind of not fair. So I would have to say Billy Mitchell's world record, but then Billy Mitchell's world record has something to do with EMP's videos. So like
Nothing EMP related.
nothing EMP related. Okay.
Can I say my most hated record? Because I don't have a most favorite one yet. My most hated record was the Pokemon Go Kid record. How he got that record?
It was the same for me. Yo, and he uploaded that after that song went viral. He uploaded it to iTunes and made like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And bro, he doesn't even do child-friendly content anymore. He just cusses at Leafy.
Whatever. Triforce is in agony from the thought that like a little kid who made a Pokemon Go song could make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
While I'm over here in a third world country begging for money, I know.
And then he over here going against YouTubers like, you guys are cancer, calling YouTubers cancer, and drinking alcohol. Yeah, he drank alcohol on a video.
Good for him.
Formula for success: babies and cats. Let's do this. We have one. We're missing another.
Yeah, we just need cats now.
My brother has a cat.
Not those kind of cats.
No, but in the same house.
We got Matt.
Put a video where a baby or a small dog, like a puppy, is like, yeah, you know, that video is gonna get like a ton of views and a ton of money.
You try first. Once you get your capture card, I really think after you get all your other games that you've been wanting to play, like Breath of the Wild and stuff, out of your way, I really think you should just give Dark Souls a chance and play it, because I really think you're gonna enjoy it if you do play
I don't get. What's so popular about Dark Souls?
Dark Souls is just just from a sheer combat aspect, is one of the best games made in like the last 20 years. A lot of people like the story about it because it's something that's just not like handed to you and force-fed to you. It's something that you actually have to spend time out of your like normal play session to find in the game. Like you gotta examine items and stuff in the story. The atmosphere of the game is pretty much hands down the best of like any game I've ever seen. They just handled the gothic like atmosphere and ruined like.
Okay, what is this? Kingdom Hearts?
No, not at all.
I just made fun of it.
It's a gothic RPG. It's a gothic third-person combat RPG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My major issue is this. Like, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. I don't want the Empire Arcadia stream to just be about, like, one of the problems is I don't want our stream to be about, you see like what we just did? We just had a very, we just had a very informative, right? We just created a very informative and now we're doing a Q&A part about like what people thought they were the best record. So we had an informative and interactive stream. I want EMP stream to always remain like this because I don't know when YouTube will be on some, hey, you know, we're not going to be doing that anymore. No one can play video games anymore and get people for it. I don't want our stream to be content dependent on the game, where playing the game is where we make entertain all of our viewers. I want our viewers to be like, yo, you know what I like about the stream? Triforce can sit there and not play no video games. I'm entertained and I'm involved and I'm a part of it. I learned something from the stream or whatever. That's what I want our streams to be. I do not want our streams to be about like just us getting the newest game on the cat. Yo, I'm gonna keep this real. I'm about to say some stuff that's gonna get me in trouble. Yo, a lot of people like their whole streams is just based off of them like getting newest game. Real rap. That means that the video game industry one day just said, hey, okay, you ain't gonna be doing this no more. Stop. They're trash. There's trash. That's it. They can't entertain it. Look, someone stole my capture card, yet people still come in and watch us stream. You see how that works? You see how that works? While we're waiting for the new capture card, oh, the new capture card comes in at the end of the month, guys. While we're waiting for the new capture card, people are still coming in, still supporting the stream, and still being entertained. Let me ask you guys that's inside the stream chat right now. What do you think about our stream in terms of like how you guys interact and are informed? Are you guys pleased by it, or do you prefer me to just play video games and you guys just watch me play video games?
I'm not asking you to like do exclusive video games on your channel.
I'm not saying you. I'm just making up a point about. I'm making a comparison about myself and what the type of channel I would like our channel to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Etika. Etika barely plays games. It doesn't make a difference whether or not the video game industry goes, yo, Etika, you can't be doing the games anymore. They don't like, Etika be like, okay, I don't care. I don't play games anyway.
Because he's like he's an entertainer.
Yeah. That's what a real entertainer is, and that's what I want to do. I want our channel to be an entertainment channel. And Jerry's right. Doing both is actually the best aspect. Okay, who subscribed? Andy Diraz. Thank you for the subscription.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna try to say. What Jerry said. I was gonna say you should do a little bit of both. Maybe focus more on the informative aspect.
Oh,
but
definitely.
every now and then, yeah.
YouTube. I feel like if YouTube got rid of gaming, that's stupid.
Yeah, they're never gonna get rid of gaming.
No. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about the video game companies that'll be like, yo, I don't want no one streaming. What if the entire video game industry does what Nintendo does? Then what's gonna happen to a lot of YouTubers?
But yeah, I agree with you there, but they're not going to. Only Nintendo's really like that.
Okay, you can believe that. I'm just letting you know. Don't be surprised if it happens. Try. What record would you like?
In that same instance, basically, Nintendo will be doing what Sega won't.
Oh my god.
So JP says, try. What record would you like EMP to achieve that hasn't been achieved by an EMP player yet? Record? Well, because you're talking about a record, there's no record EMP needs right now. We already have a record that matters the most to me anyway, like my most prized possession for our team. But if we could do an achievement, I would love for EMP to win a League of Legends LCS World Championship.
Yeah, we just need the $10 million required to run a league team.
Translation: Triforce wants me and Children the run speed run of Sonic Mania.
Yeah, you know the top LCS teams, the ones that have all the sponsors and stuff and win all the tournaments, they're still operating at a loss.
Yeah.
They're in it for the long haul until like the big sponsors like Disney and stuff come in, and they already have. Now teams are gonna start making money. Because I don't know if you saw, but Team Liquid got like a big deal with Paramount or something. It was one of those things, right? And now they have a massive like warehouse facility for training all of their esports teams in one place, and like physical trainers and everything.
Well, unfortunately, I'm saying this right now. Wait, what the hell just happened?
$1 million to run a team. I mean, unless you pay them.
It's much more than $1 million. Like, it's over $1 million just to pay the player's salary, but including the operating costs for everything else you need like housing and food and coaching.
All foolishness.
Honestly.
There's no real,
what do you mean, honestly?
There's no real operating costs. That's inflation.
No, there are a lot of operating costs.
No, you're not gonna tell me. I've been doing this for freaking 16 years, and I've owned 4 gaming houses, and I've hosted like 60 different players to become the #1 winning team in the world. I didn't spend no $1 million. No, it's just inflation, B. It's inflation. It's bullshit.
But I think it costs justifying that necessarily operating cost.
They just make up prices and they say we need this amount. And
no, we need this 40-acre house that has central air. We need shirts. We need hats.
They need the shirts. They need the hats.
Benches for all the players. We need 2 benches for all the players.
Exactly. Oh, we need these shirts that have to be outlined in gold and all this.
Everybody eats sushi every day.
Exactly, and that's not the case. Prime example: when I was living at Black Poultry's place, like Black Poultry's place
hosts like friggin' 12 people at the same time. How much does he makes? Watch what EMP does in terms of watch what we do in terms of what's the name of this thing here? When I start the arc next year, you're gonna be like, Triforce, how did you get another arc all over again? And you're poor. The same way I got the first two. We only need to spend money on what we need. The problem is that we have a lot of bougie ass players who feel like they're rock stars and they need more than what's needed, and they don't need it. Come on, you know how many gaming houses close because these guys overspend on a gaming house? They need a chef. Are you kidding me? A chef? The fuck do you need a chef for? Cook for yourself.
Bruh.
Dude is spending $10,000 a month for a chef. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, all the LCS team houses have a chef.
Not EMP. Shit, I'm a
chef. All the LCS houses. I mean.
Sorry, first, the only thing I would ever ask for extra is a pool. That's the only thing I'd ask for extra.
Bro, you're not gonna have time to go in the pool when you're practicing.
Well, they don't spend every single moment of their lives playing the game now. They'll be unreal.
Listen,
I mean,
you want a pool?
Really
if you want a pool, you get up and you go to the pool. The hell? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is the excess spend of money that makes it more than what it needs to be. Give EMP $250,000. I run EMP better than most league teams. On $250,000.
You know what the funny thing is? You know what the real funny thing is?
What?
Athletes like the gladiators, they go to a place that has all these amenities and stuff like that. And they share it with other teams and stuff like that. The esports arena is the only arena I know of where athletes have their own shit, like based on their teams. Every team has their own thing, and they all live together, and they all practice together every day. And it's kind of nice when you look at it from a certain angle, but on the other side of things, some stuff seems very unnecessary.
No, you need your team to live together to develop a team chemistry.
Yeah.
You can't just be good individually.
But do they need a pool, though? Do they need a personal chef, though?
I mean, the chef just saves time for more practicing. They don't have to stop for like 2 hours to cook something. The players by themselves.
Actually, that's good. Yo, listen, this is not Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't work that way. Like, practicing requires you to intake what you practice. You can't be practicing for 18 hours straight, no stop. That's bad. Your brain needs to be able, muscle memory. It's all still muscle at the end of the day. No matter what, it's all still muscle memory at the end of the day. You train in something.
For the games that you play, Triforce, but not for
no. Who's telling you this? Where are you getting this from, B?
League of Legends isn't muscle memory.
My man, listen.
I got to say.
Oh, everything we do, muscle. First of all, muscle is not. You're looking at muscle like in terms of like someone who's an athlete who's going to compete in a basketball game. Muscle memory is every single muscle fiber that's in your body. That includes your brain. Your brain needs to shut off for a bit so it can compensate for what not compensate. It can take in for whatever it could take in for whatever information it got in. Your brain is a muscle. The fibers between your fingers are muscles. All of this is fatigue. You can't just stress your body. That's what Vegeta does. He trains all this extra time, and Goku be training less time than him, but Goku has better results because he gets the time to sit down and say, let me take in what I just learned. That goes for your brain as well. You can't just be doing that off just like, oh, I have to keep playing 7,000 times in order for me to get better. That's not how it works. That's not how human development works, man. If that was the case, that all people who want to be Diesel just go in the gym and stay in the gym for a year, and you become Arnold Schwarzenegger. I am buffed up. I am Diesel.
You ain't 3 Arnold Schwarzeneggers a whole year. That day.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
No, but that's just talking about the pure mechanical skill. Yeah, that is muscle memory. Once you have it down, it doesn't deteriorate. But I'm talking about the other aspects of the game. do need to you need to spend the time knowing in what situation.
No one's saying that you can't
Set
spend a certain amount of time in the game. You definitely have to spend a certain amount of time in the game. But this concept of playing 18 hours a day every day for an entire 6 months so you could be that's not true. You do not need that. People can put in 10 hours a day, 4 days a week. I'm telling you, this exaggeration. It's highly exaggerated, B.
No team practices 18 hours a day. The North America and Europe practices on average about 10 hours a day.
Okay.
But in Korea, it's the standard is 13 to 14 hours a day.
What do you want, Triforce?
You missed your record when we was giving your record when we was calling your record out.
I don't give it. Can I eat that record? I don't give a shit about record.
I like how in the video you actually tried to eat it.
Yes. So yes, you answered your own question.
I tried, and I know the answer to the question. I tried. It didn't work.
We're over here having a conversation about, does it really take vast amount of hours every single day training to become the best? Wait, what?
In League of Legends.
You still trip? Oh, okay. So let's get back to the real question. So the real question is, does it really cost millions of dollars to run an esports team effectively?
In LCS, NA.
Yeah, let them train however they want, but the money, oh my goodness.
I believe I'm saying that I think the money is over exaggerated, that this is just excess cost for no reason, because I can run an esports team, including an LCS team, or with good players for less than that. Way less.
Okay.
I think the whole money situation just comes into what a player wants and what he's willing to play for. Because there will always be hidden talents, diamonds in the roughs, who, man, I can't get out there and be able to compete and play with this team. But if I only had the opportunity, it's like if someone goes, I'm real good at this game. Yo, you're real good at this game. Phil, you're a prime example. You're very good at League of Legends, right? But you don't. Your situation is with League of Legends is in order for you to put in the real time so that you can play at the real level you want to play, to be able to compete at challenger level, you need something that subsidizes your actual living, right? So you make about, well, I don't want to put your earnings out there, but let's say if I said to you, Phil, I'm gonna give you $100,000 to play for EMP for the year, right? And I want you to give up fighting games and just play League of Legends. $100,000 for the year, and I need you to put in the time to play with. Would you be able to do that on $100,000 a year?
Maybe $1,500,000.
I knew it was coming.
All right.
Okay, so about the operating.
Of course, you could definitely do that at $100,000, and that's a single player though.
Yes, no, we know that as a single player. But he's saying that these guys are putting up millions for a team, and I'm like, that's crazy. $500,000 is enough for a team.
But wait. Okay, so when he says they're putting up millions, the players themselves are not the beneficiary. They're not getting every ounce of that million. You're also paying coaches. You're also paying housing. You're also paying.
Oh my god!
Okay. First, let's try first. There's a minimum wage also for LCS. It's 75,000 American. That's the minimal you have to get paid.
Why?
Who said that? Wait. Riot said that. That's
when did that occur?
What? Last year. It started this season. The minimum. Most players get paid well over it though. Well, not well, but over it.
Because Riot used to give 33,000 for every member of the organization, including coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, they used to. Now it's under organizations.
Now the very same company that would never give 75,000, which I only gave 30,000, is trying to now tell people you have to give a minimum of 75,000. You see how foolish it is? Who made that law? When you ask them what is the reason, they don't have a reason. They just made it because they just said so. There's no real reason. Oh, we need a chef. We need to pay the coach. We need to do this. You need to do that. Get out of here with all of that. That's all nonsense. This is what I'm going to talk about, the industrial revolution of esports. This is when the industry set up a narrative. Yes, this is when the suits come in and they start putting the value they deem worthy. And the reason why they do this is to cut out small teams who cannot afford doing that coming in, so they can control the entire league. They can
I mean, pretty much. Like a startup team, how they going to afford 75,000?
They can't do it. So
Can't do it.
so guess what? If a team comes in, let's say me and my friends, we've been friends for a very long time. We've been playing League of Legends for God knows how long, ungodly amount of time, 4 years straight, and we're nice. We're God tier in the game. We're like God tier in the game, and we've been playing. We can't enter the LCS together as a God tier team because we cannot afford it. Now we can split each other up, and we can all go into different other teams, and those teams that exist now that are set franchise and are part of the league and the infrastructure that can afford it will have us. But we just broke up our team.
Wait, the whole 75,000 thing and the players getting unionized, it only came to fruition in June, so it's not even active this year yet. It's starting next year.
It starts next year. The minimum.
No, we get that, but the point I'm trying to make is what these guys are doing. That's what I'm saying. That the whole purpose of this is not because they're trying to help the scene grow. They're trying to control the scene. It's the industrialization of it, and that's all good because that's what our business is. I've already foretold this. This happens in every industry, every sport, every entertainment industry. This is what it is. That's how these guys make it work. I'm just saying.
It's gotta be a shame because I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about people in general, like people watching the stream, people out there who aren't watching the stream. You were there when all these teams were just coming from the grassroots and stuff like that, getting into tournaments, getting into locals majors, getting to nationals, doing Evo and stuff like that. You were there when they were coming up grassroots, just doing their thing. It's like, oh, we don't need a whole lot of money. We just need to stay together and do our thing and practice and da-da-da-da-da. And now you got all these dudes coming in here talking about you need to be able to pay your players 75,000. Like, what the fuck?
Well, okay, so they're using the reason of a really bad event that just happened in the Australian League. Tainted Minds, I believe that was the name of the team, where they really fucked over their players. Like they didn't give them air conditioning in a country where things are like it's minimum like 100-degree weather. They weren't paying the support staff on time, so it like. At some point, there was only one of them that was coming in, and that's because she didn't want to abandon the players. But like,
when they signed a contract, to get on the team, they were promised to get top of the line PCs to play on. They were forced to play on public computers.
Yeah, like it was so Riot is using this opportunity to do what you're talking about under the guise of we're helping the players.
We care about the players. We just don't want that to happen to other teams. No, you don't want other teams to rise up.
Yeah.
But in reality, in reality, while it is benefiting Riot, it's also technically benefiting the players that are within the LCS, not the people who are trying to get there. Like, or the teams that are trying to stay together. Like something like the Rocks Tigers is not going to happen again, where they rise up and they're living in like fucking shitty conditions, but they fight through it and they get to the fucking finals of the Worlds.
Yeah. But that wasn't because the organization was bad. That was just because they couldn't get the money, like no sponsors.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, that's bad if you can't get sponsors. But that's what I'm saying.
You have college leagues for video games. And then those guys get scouters, and they put you on the big league teams. We're talking like 5 more years into the future here.
Yeah.
5 or 10, like another generation from now. You're gonna have like scholarships for gaming, and then
they already have that
put you on teams.
Well, they have like preliminary stuff. It's not that good.
Of course, well, yeah,
it doesn't guarantee you're on a team or anything. It just kind of like gives you money.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it? College League of Legends.
I mean,
there is a collegiate league run by Riot. It's just not very big right now.
Yeah, it doesn't give them a lot.
And this is why I already knew this was gonna come, and that's why a lot of the grassroots teams are all gonna die. I'm like, I made sure to put EMP in a position that come next year we'll outlive this foolishness. That's for sure. We'll definitely out survive this foolishness. But unfortunately, because they now run the industry, we're going to have to be EMP is going to literally have to evolve, and that's why the third dynasty is coming tomorrow. But we're good. Trust me, we're gonna be golden. That's why I said when I get into Hall of Fame, it's a wrap for these people.
This is when Triforce kicks me out. He's like, "This trash, this garbage, Lord." Like,
no,
I don't have to deal with this fucker anymore. He makes fun of me every day. He fucking pulls my hair. What kind of?
Actually, I'm a big believer. The way I am, I'm a big believer in like what's the word for this? No, I don't want to say loyalty. I'm just a huge history buff. That's the type of person I am. I'm into history, and the most important thing any player can ever, any team can ever get involved with is like the history of a competitive scene. You can sell that. You know, a team at the end of the day isn't necessarily just about winning. It's also about what can this team bring from a marketing standpoint. And you can't sell a loser, but you can sell history.
I don't know, low tier god, man.
Nah, low tier god, he sells himself.
You said you can sell a loser.
But you can sell an asshole.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So he gets away with that. He's like, okay, I'm a loser, so what's my alternative? Okay, let me become an asshole. And then that works for him.
I wouldn't call him an asshole. I'd call him an ass hat, but not an asshole.
A jackhole?
Well, yeah.
A jackal.
Oh.
Is he technically a culture vulture?
I have no idea.
He's technically a fuckboy, but that's beyond that. That's the point.
I think we're making his point.
But either way, like I don't want to necessarily get too caught off the whole thing. At the end of the day, we as a team, what keeps us together and keeps EMP in relevancy, it's its actual history. It's like Twin Galaxies. Like when you really look at Twin Galaxies compared today in the adjudication or the esports market, only reason why Twin Galaxies has any value is because of the history Walter Day put into it. Take Walter Day out of Twin Galaxies. Would anyone care?
Nope, you just have some bum ass arcade.
That's it. No one would care.
Didn't he create Twin Galaxies?
Yes.
You wouldn't have Twin Galaxies.
Oh yeah, okay, but good point. That was a stupid.
No. I mean, but like Twin Galaxies is one of the most significant things in retro arcades. So without Walter Day, we wouldn't have none of this shit.
Significant retro arcades. Choose one.
Someone said prostitution. What?
Well, I would debate all of this. I mean, Walter Day definitely made a contribution, but I wouldn't say because of him we have League of Legends or anything.
Actually, because of him, you have League of Legends. Are you kidding me?
I disagree. I think the main reason that mainstream games like League of Legends, CS:GO, Dota 2, and the like are all super popular. Even like Heroes of the Storm and Vainglory are all because of StarCraft.
Okay.
And like, keep in mind, even if Walter Day, and this is my opinion, I know you're gonna disagree with this.
Oh no, I'm not gonna disagree. I'm gonna shut the shit down. There's a big difference when you do. I have something that's gonna shut all that shit off. But continue, finish.
All right, okay, all right. So what I wanted to say is that StarCraft was the first big esport in terms of what I mean by big esport. It was the first one to show the modern infrastructure that we have today for games like League of Legends, CS:GO, and again Dota 2. Right?
Okay, before you further, what is it what type of modern infrastructure did they say? What did they do? Describe this modern infrastructure, please.
All right. So by modern infrastructure, I mean they were the first one to have like a regulated league with teams and sponsors from big name companies, and it was an actual televised event on TV and on the internet.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you know why Black Poacher just said, "Oh my god, oh shit!" Right?
God.
All right, Black Poacher, you can get it. This is a freebie. I throw this one.
Well, I want to no. I'm gonna let you do that because you need to be the one to do it. I just wanted to give him the realistic perspective of it. Now, see, maybe it wouldn't have been Walter Day, but we wouldn't be sitting here right now about the LCS. All I'm saying, it would have been.
No, I think we would. I think that Walter, and this is keep in mind, this is no disrespect. Walter Day, I'm almost 100% mind that even if Walter Day was never born, fine, while we don't have a lot of other stuff in the West, you have to keep in mind Walter Day did just that. Only esports in the West. He didn't contribute to anything in Eastern culture like China and Korea.
Stop.
And Korea
We're gonna stop.
is where
Stop. See, you young bucks, you little nappers.
Let me finish my thought real quick. Can I finish my thought real quick?
Harper, finish your thought. I have to educate.
Without Walter Day, it would have taken at least 10 to 20 more years for gaming to get where it is now.
I disagree.
Okay, now.
Sure, but I'm gonna try for a second.
All right, so now, all right, hold on. I gotta pause my game. For this one. Now, oh my God! And then the stream is acting up. Look at this foolishness.
Yeah, the stream's acting
No,
up.
they already know.
Stupid storm.
And this is the further beyond.
Just hold on for a second. We gotta wait for the stream to come back on. Damn, what the hell? Yo, it's blinking. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red. That's it. It's just blinking yellow, red. Wow, man. This shit is going crazy. See, even in the Discord, my voice thing is at red. So this is the storm down here, man. Because I'm running on fiber. This is crazy. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Get back on, you stupid stream. Yeah, we gotta, and this is no disrespect, Sahil. The only reason why,
we're gone again. We're gone. The screen's gone again.
You know, I'm not gonna get to it yet. But like what I want to say is that the only reason why you say that is because you are uninformed. It's not because you're stupid. That's got nothing to do with that. You just literally don't know. You're limited in the information and the knowledge given about the whole thing. Like there's things. That's why I want to really, every time I have these streams, I actually want to do stuff where we educate the people, because there's so much you don't know. When you find out, you're like, that happened? And like, yup. And you're like, but when? And you would have never known. And so one of the things, oh my goodness, this stream needs to hurry up, man. So one of the major things here is that what's the name of this thing here? The whole thing about like teams and infrastructure and stuff like that and leagues was already set up and broadcast on TV by Walter Day. All that existed in like 1982. It all existed. In fact,
but not in the format we have today, though.
No, but everything has a skeleton. Everything, the meat and potatoes you see now is because Walter built the skeleton. You can't just have the meat. You can't just have flesh and bones without a soul and skeletons. Who built the skeleton? And,
I mean, that's like saying we didn't have the same infrastructure we had 5,000 years ago.
Exactly.
Even though there were
civilization the way it is today is because of the ancient people who built society. If you didn't build them, we'd still be back in the Stone Ages still. Someone had to get us out of the Stone Age. So who got us out of the Stone Age?
Walter was one guy.
Yes, in this particular situation, it's sad because it's one guy that got us out of the Stone Age. Because if not for Walter Day, companies would still be doing stuff like we're just gonna do what's the name of this thing here? A video game contest that just promotes the particular sales of their game. Hold on for a second, guys. This is not healing. This is bad.
It's an open wound. I'm gonna try to finish this conversation up with y'all, and then I gotta go.
Yeah, it's getting kind of late.
Yeah,
but I'll stay for this. I want to discuss this.
It's because I plan on staying up. It's just that I've been doing yard work all day, and I ain't had a shower yet.
So
feels bad, man.
The issue here is this. When I say Walter Day, I don't mean Walter Day as a person. I mean Walter Day as the avatar. It doesn't have to be Walter Day. It could have been anyone. Anyone like Walter Day of the time. it took a Walter Day type person to set what we have now. So the guy's name could have been Jim Riley, John Doe, Steve Sanders. It doesn't make a difference. It required someone back then who said, let me take competitive gaming and create a skeletal infrastructure to turn it into a sport. If not for him, it would have been nothing. For instance, the NBA, right? Look at the NBA. Look at the NBA back where it is now to what it is from then to what it is now. The NBA would not have been the way it is if not for the early years of the NBA when whatever his name, Sterling or whatever the hell his name is, if he didn't literally put in the work to build the NBA back in the 1946. The game's been out since shit. 1881, 1891, but if not for
maybe even earlier than that,
yeah, if not for those guys to put it together in 1946, the NBA you see now would not exist. It's not possible. Someone who set up the infrastructure, who set up the skeleton, that's Walter Day. That cannot be denied. And that's what people are trying to do now. Oh man, this would have happened with or without Walter Day. Not true, because guess what? Before the video game industry had far more money and resources than Walter Day, did not do anything to help push video games, competitive gaming to that level. And now, if it was to promote their game, of course they're going to push together a tournament to promote their game. But it's not because they're for the sport. They're just for the sale of their game. That's it.
Okay, now I understand the contributions of Walter Day's move, right? But just for the sake, I'm wording this really poorly. Okay, so let's just start with the release of, like, I'm just gonna go through the history for a second, just so we can see like where Walter Day's influence comes in, right?
All right.
So Blizzard releases Warcraft 1, right?
Okay.
The first very popular RTS, in my opinion, right?
All right.
To my knowledge, not in my opinion, to my knowledge, right? The first super popular RTS, right? After Warcraft comes out, they make a sci-fi version of Warcraft named StarCraft. StarCraft blows up in Korea, and within like 3 years of release, it becomes the most played game in Korea, and it becomes, whereas in like the 70s and 80s or like Walter Day's era, even though he had like all these records and he founded Twin Galaxies and stuff, at that time, esports was still very much a counterculture to the mainstream, right? Whereas in Korea at that time, esports was already accepted as part of the norm. With StarCraft, StarCraft wasn't seen as something that only shut-in people do. Everybody played StarCraft.
But wait. See, massive, right? You're chronologically out of sync and out of whack on that. Which this is the major problem. You can't make a analogy like that. Not necessarily an analogy like that. You can't say one without saying the other. Video games were accepted in Korea at the time when they made Counter-Strike because America was making video game competitions acceptable. In the 80s, was video games accepted in Korea? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The only places that video games was accepted in Asian-wise was Japan. Korea and China didn't get video games. Korea got video games. Korea started to accept video games into their culture at the end of the 90s. China just started taking video games in 2010. In 2010 is when China started getting into gaming. When Reggie sold the Nintendo's Wii U on the line, a guy called Ping came all the way from China to buy it because they don't sell video games in China. It's not allowed. And then Nintendo just came up with a deal with China, and now China is now starting to accept video games and stuff like that. So wait, here's a question. Who put in the work to make video games acceptable for the rest of the world to take it? You made a thing about going international, right? Let's talk about Walter Day going international. In 1982, Walter had put together a collegiate team. I wish I could show you this. In fact, I'm going to put it in the Discord for you, just so you can see this. This is stuff Walter told me. I was like, what the hell, Walter? I was like, how much stuff is in the past and in history people don't know? He's like, more than you think you would like to know. You'd be like, this is crazy. First, I'm just going to, wait, hold on. I'm just going to put a bunch of them in the, oops. I'm just going to put a bunch of them in the room at one time. Right? Is this it? Yeah, and I can use this. Okay.
Send this in the room just for you to see. All right. These 3 things. Players sought for national video game team. A national video game team was made. A team to represent a whole nation. 1982. You talk about esports? Infrastructure, right? He built a national team, a team to represent USA. What you want?
But it wasn't like it was a government sanctioned like team or anything. Anybody,
Stop. Once again, jumping the gun. I'm gonna start dumping these in the room so that you can say you're stating something. What you're doing is you're making an assumption because you're not from that age and you think it is not possible for that to happen. So it's not government sanctioned, right?
Yeah.
That's the proclamation from the governor and the mayor of Ottumwa, Iowa, proclaiming that Ottumwa, Iowa is a video game capital of the world, which changed competitive gaming to esports. That proclamation was made in 1983. This is what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You're making assumptions because you're thinking because it was such an old age, that could not have been possible that someone did it. It was already done already. But you don't know this. So you assume. No, it could have been done then. Video games had a national. The Video Game Olympics was done in 1982, which was a qualifier that led to That's Incredible's first Video Game World Championships, which was broadcast on TV. Guess who owns the rights to it? Disney. Did you know that? No. How would you?
Okay. No, I get that. I understand that. Fine. I didn't know that. I admit that, right? But even though all this stuff was going on at the time, right, into the mainstream, this was still not like seen as normal.
Whoa. But you're making my point. You're making my point. They went through the trailblazing trials and the tribulations so that it can become the norm. What you're acting like is that Korea and China and these guys just came out of nowhere. They put a game on and they made it the norm. No, they didn't.
See, the funny thing is, can I chime in here real quick? One of the funny thing is in the media is that competitive gaming in the modern age would like you to believe that everything started with StarCraft and Dota.
No, with Warcraft, not Star. Warcraft came in 1994.
I mean, you can go back into the early 2000s, like as far as you want, but that's where they want you to believe competitive gaming started in the early 2000s. Like late 90s, early 2000s. But this stuff, like what Trevor was saying about China and Korea, they didn't have gaming until it was socially acceptable in the modern age.
Exactly. And so who took the brunt? Who took the brunt of actually putting all the social stuff together? The USA. For instance, Walter Day, when he created the US national video game team, had already spoke to the Italian embassy, Italy, and of Japan to have a first true world championships between actual nations. You didn't know this. There was a state championship called North Carolina versus California. The first video game team ever put together. Walter Day put that team together. For instance, I put in the room, if you look in the room right before you see what says Yay Team, click that. Attention now. Twin Galaxies is forming a national, the nation's first video game team. Interested? If you're a video wizard or would like to come to the first meeting of the NMSU varsity video game team. So Walter Day created the first collegiate video game team in 1982. But you wouldn't know this. Because, like I said before, there are those marshals that destroying the true history of esports because they want to rewrite it as they see fit. It's no different from what's happening. That's why I say it's all about race. When you go, Triforce is not all about race. Okay, scientifically speaking, the first human beings on this planet were all melanated. Not because of any religion. It's because if you didn't have melanin in your skin, the sun back then would have fried you to bits. So, yeah, you needed to be black to be on this planet. All human beings descend from the first original man, which was melanated. Due to recessive genes, climate, and region, we've mutated and changed into different things and all over the place. That's why we have different pigmentations and whatever, but we are all one race, the human race, right? Now, when you look at modern society is trying to dictate that melanated people, mainly Africans, had nothing to do with the advancement or the civilization and the architecture of the new world that we're in. That we were simply just slaves. And it took the white man to come in and make everything what it is today. And they have people believing this. There's white people told me, what have black people ever done for society? And I'm like, that's crazy they even ask that question. But they do, because they don't know any better. They don't actually look and go into the history. For whatever reason, I don't know why they don't do it. They can just go look for it, but they don't. And this is the problem here. Because of this information is lacking. You saw all this stuff that I just put into the Discord. I'm working on a project with Wall today where we're not going to go through these people. We're not talking with them. We're just going to get a mainstream media outlet. We're just going to put the history out there and just body everyone. This is what I'm. This is why I'm here defending Todd's record. You have people who want to remove these things from the history book. They just want to remove it because they want to make it like StarCraft. First of all, League of Legends people are trying to act like the guys who did StarCraft didn't start esports. The guys who did StarCraft is trying to make it like the guys who did Doom didn't start esports. The guys who did Doom are trying to make it like Walter Day didn't start esports. You see what it is? Everyone relevant today is trying to wipe out their history so that they can be. These people want to be able to say they are the founders, but they're not. They're the revolutionaries, but they're not the founders. The founder is Walter Day, hands down. It's not a discussion. There's shit I have on Walter Day I can't even put in this room yet, but it will be on the History Channel. And when that gets, and that's why I was like, oh, well, how do we protect the history? Put it out on mainstream media. That's it. That's all you have to do. Put it out on mainstream media. And it crushes everything. That's why Twin Galaxies can why you think Twin Galaxies is such an old organization can survive the times now? Because it's history. That's what's keeping it alive. It's the history. The new owner of Twin Galaxies, which is funny, he's the CEO of EchoFox. Jace Hall, the CEO of EchoFox, is the guy that owns Twin Galaxies. Well, he considers himself to be the custodian and the caretaker, but legally he owns Twin Galaxies. And what logo do they use? What logo do they use in the modern Twin Galaxies? Let's see here. Give me a second. I'm going to show you the logo that they use. This is the logo that they use. And here's a question. Why do they use that logo? Why do they use that logo? Why did they make why did they take Walter Day, the person, and make him an iconic logo? Because Walter Day is the only way to keep Twin Galaxies alive. Walter Day can die as long as you see that symbol of that man. You're like, yeah, we know who that is. You see what it says? Official video game world records, player archives, player achievement, and historical archives. No other esports organization in this day and age can claim that. They can't. Twin Galaxies archives what League of Legends is doing. Guinness World Record, the World Record company goes to Twin Galaxies for records. Think about this. Guinness Book of World Records, which is supposed to be the standards of world records, goes to Twin Galaxies for it. Although they're trying to make their own brand now with their Gamers Edition and kind of break away and become independent, the fact remains that they went to Twin Galaxies. They even hired Walter in 1984 and 85 to be an editor to bring his records over from the Twin Galaxies database into Guinness Book of World Records. So there's a lot of things that you're not aware of. Now, I am not taking away from KESPA. I'm not taking away from MLG. I'm not taking away from CPL. I'm not taking away from World Cyber Games. I'm not taking away from EVO. I'm not taking away from LCS. I'm not taking away from any of these entities of their contributions to esports. Yes, they've made massive contributions to esports. They've revolutionized esports, but they did not found it and they did not build it. They're simply,
well, I mean, they're basically using the template that Walter set for them.
That's all they're doing.
They're just putting a shit ton of money behind it.
That's it. The resources, the money, the technology, and the resources that they have, Walter, they did not have it and still form the foundation.
Also, I would like to point out something about Blizzard since it was brought up anyway. Blizzard ended up that it started with Rock and Roll Racing.
Yeah, I know.
And the guys,
back when it was called Synapse and
Hold
Synapse.
on, pause your statement.
Yes.
I have Dr. 12 Evil has a statement. I thought former NBA player Rick Fox owns Echo Fox. Rick Fox owns Echo Fox.
Yeah.
Jace Hall is the CEO of the team. Just to get the clear, it still belongs to Rick Fox. It's just that Rick Fox hired Jace Hall as the CEO for Echo Fox. Just
Rick
so
Fox is just the face of Echo Fox.
Yeah, if you want to say that. All right, go on, Pauldron.
And yes, like Synapses, like you said, but Blizzard got its start with Rock and Roll Racing, which basically the game came out in 1993. These same guys who worked on this game come from an era of people like, you know, when console games were first getting like big, that type of stuff. This thing was on the Genesis. This was one of the games that was trying to knock Nintendo off the market. Okay, so we're going all the way. We're still going all the way back to competitive gaming.
Yes, it's not to be confused. We're not discrediting any of the modern guys. But what we don't want to do is take away the legacy of the founders. America, okay, look at America now, right? Look at America now. Are we going to actually sit here and say America is what it is without George Washington, without Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, and DuPont, and the rest of them? No, they're the reasons why America is what it is today. They're called the founding fathers. They built America. Now, yes, what's this guy's name? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and all these other guys. These are the guys that's transforming America, revolutionizing America. But they're not the founders of America. They did not found the country. They did not build the infrastructure for America. They're revolutionizing the infrastructure, and that's what these guys are. From Riot to MLG, they're just revolutionizing what Walter built. But to sit here and say, oh, we understand what Walter did, but like esports is like, it's not what it is. Anything you can think of that's happening in esports today, Walter already did it back then. And the sad part is, there's proof. It's just that people want to hide the proof.
That's not a sad fact at all.
No, that's a sad fact because there's proof, but people hide it.
See, that's what's tied to like the what do you call that? The collusion.
I don't think the game companies are colluding with each other.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
I'm telling you this as a fact. I know this as a fact. I've experienced this and still experiencing this.
It's kind of obvious.
Anything I'm telling you when it comes to esports, B, is not my opinion. I'm telling you by experience. Okay. It's things that I witness and experience. This is why you think I'm so hated. It never dawned on you, like, why do they hate you so much, Triforce? Because I'm going against the narrative. I'm not working with them. I don't want to work with them. I don't want to be on a team. I don't like their team. Team sucks. I'm not down with them.
All right, so I agree. I'm not denying. I do agree. Yeah, Walter Day did do all these things first that we're seeing now. He did lay the foundation, but I think the question really is, like, even though he did it first, would other people have not done it?
Someone else.
If he didn't do it.
Someone.
He said that.
I said that. It doesn't make a difference if it was Walter Day or not. Someone else would have eventually got it, and it would have been the same thing as it could have been Joe DiMaggio. It's someone in the past had to do it for these guys to be able to do what they do now. So that's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't make a difference if it's Walter. It just so happens it is Walter Day. That's who did it.
The reason why I said it would have taken 1 to 2 decades for esports to get where it is now was because of the research I did on Walter Day before I got an interview with him in where were we at? I know it's the Full Blast Arcade, but I forgot where it was at.
Something I don't know. I forgot the name.
Yeah, I'm just saying the contact you got me so I could do an interview with Walter Day.
Okay.
I did a lot of research on him, and there was no one trying to do what he was trying to do. In fact, he was called a fool. He existed in an era where people thought video games were going to die. You have to understand this. So there were very few people who were actually supporting video games, and he was on the top of that food chain. So that's why I'm saying it would have taken a decade plus Like, thank God Mario came along and saved the gaming industry, because if Mario didn't save the gaming industry, then Walter wouldn't have had anything to do.
Exactly.
I think this entire conversation comes down to like one question stuff, and it's not necessarily a question. Yeah, I'm gonna ask, right? And I don't know what I would answer for this. I'm not sure at this point either. But I think the question is, if Walter Day was never born, would Blizzard have still come out with the games that they did?
I answered that. I said 10, 20 years later.
No, you can't answer that question. That's asking if Walter Day was not born, the timeline would have changed. No one would have known anything.
No, but some things Walter Day didn't affect. Like, how do you know that they wouldn't have still founded a company and still came up with the game?
Listen to the question you're asking. You cannot ask that question. That question doesn't even make any sense. You're asking if... The question makes absolutely no sense. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make any sense. If Walter Day wasn't born, would Blizzard still come around? I don't know. Would it?
Well, I was trying to preserve the timeline by incurring another Walter, but just later.
Yeah, that's all that would have happened. Another Walter Day would have came around and just did it, and then Blizzard would have came if Blizzard was coming.
I know, but the thing I'm saying is there's a chance that regardless of Walter or not, Blizzard would have came out with the game.
No, because No. All right. The reason why this question doesn't make any sense because you're talking about time quantum physics. That's if. We're not talking about if Walter existed. Period. So it's not an if. He's here. He came, and then from him, all of these companies came and started building up esports. So that's the fact. We can't sit here and speculate. I'm not God. I can't give you the answer. Oh well, if Walter didn't come, Blizzard would have came anyway. If Walter didn't come, okay, Walter was not born. A meteor could have hit the Earth.
There had to have been some pioneer who took
No. We're talking about a time. We're talking about a time hold here. If Walter did not come, the Cuban Missile Crisis could have happened. You see my point? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Like the butterfly effect.
It'll be a bit of butterfly effect, and you can't answer that question. Who knows? If Walter wasn't
changes, everything changes.
Yeah, you change. Okay, let's go back in time and stop Walter from being born. When were you born, Walter? Walter was 30-something.
Why did you give up this information?
Walter was 30-something years old in 1982. So if he was 30-something, you go back 3 years. 30 years. Walter was born in the 1950s. Yeah. So Kennedy didn't get shot. Kennedy went to war with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Russia would have nuked us, and we would have nuked Russia, and America wouldn't even be here. And then no. So your answer. And without America, there's no CES. There's no what's the name of this thing? E3. And without an E3, no video game company. The crash of '83 would have still taken place and America would not have resurrected anything.
Hip hop would have still been around.
No, hip hop would have stayed in Jamaica.
Oh, you're right. Oh, snap.
It would have never came to America. So let's not talk about that. The butterfly effect. They can't do any of that. Like Walter is here. That's it. He's here, and he did what he did, and from what he did, other people did what they did. Now, would those people have done what they would have done with or without Walter? Of course, because it would have been a different person anyway. Shit, it may have been them. They probably would have been the founders who made esports. And then a new company would have come around, and it wouldn't be called Blizzard. It would be called Snowstorm, which is Blizzard. But whatever. The point is, another company would have taken the place of Blizzard, and Blizzard would have probably been the one to take over. The point is this, and this is the major point.
Heat stroke.
The point is, heat stroke, right? The point is this: who set up the skeleton? Walter. That cannot be denied. Who added the meat? Blizzard, Activision, MLG, CPL, all of those companies, and more. Who's adding more meat? LCS, and there will be more after LCS.
Can we get a competitive racing game? Goddamn it!
Yep, they've already worked on that now. They're talking to the NASCAR stuff. NASCAR and FIFA's trying to take over their respective genres in a virtual manner as well.
I mean, I want a game like Blur.
Yeah, that would have been a godlike game.
It still is. But no one played. Everybody stopped playing it.
So it's like now this statement that he says Walter is powerful. It's not that Walter is powerful. It's that what Walter did has a powerful impact. Walter is retired. He's not even in Twin Galaxies anymore. Walter's retired. People fly Walter out and pay Walter to just be himself. Because
when people look back, they're like, yo, you did this? Yo, you did. The bigger esports become, the more their history becomes available.
Yo, let's do with the ref shirt.
Exactly.
The ref shirt.
Walt Disney made a movie called Wreck-It Ralph and made a character inspired by what? Let me grab it for you.
It says it on the wiki.
It says it on Disney's wiki. Inspired by the esports ref Walter Day. Disney wiki. I'm gonna get it for you. Hold on, I got you. Disney fandom was Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck It. What the hell is going on?
Like for me, Walter Day is the Prometheus of gaming.
What does Prometheus even mean in the English
Prometheus
language?
The origin.
The origin?
Yes.
I thought Prometheus was like the sun god or something.
No, Prometheus is the person who started, according to the whatever lore it comes from, is the person who started humanity.
It comes from, it's not that he started humanity. He stole fire from Apollo and brought it to man. And the gods were like, don't give them fire. And he was like, fuck y'all.
And he gave them fire.
And that's that caused the origin of mankind civilization stuff.
Oh, yeah, and that's also where Pandora's box came from.
Yes, Walter Day is Pandora's box.
You want to refer to it? Okay, yeah, that works too, I guess.
Stream.
Wait, during this stream, the CEO of Hashtag came on?
I mean, you know the
story. Oh, the one before, yeah, I watched that stream.
You watched it? You watched the video?
Yo, Triforce.
What video?
The video that Triforce put up. That everybody was watching the stream.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I watched that video.
Triforce.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to compare?
No, well,
I
saw half
box because Pandora's box contains the misery of mankind.
That video had a lot of information.
I think Prometheus is a better fit.
Hold on. Angel's talking.
I can't hear him.
And I'm like, I could definitely tell that you didn't watch that video, bro.
Yeah.
I understood like what Walter Day does. Like, I guess my perspective on it was just different.
If you go back and watch that stream, that video was very informative, bro. Like all these shits that you talking about, they was talking about in the video, bro. Like they literally, Life magazine was talking to doing a documentary and saying Walter Day is basically the guy, basically started this shit. Like they were like, if it wasn't for him, nobody wouldn't be talking about nothing. Like every media outlet was wanting to talk to Walter Day and deal with Walter Day. Like
think about it. Think about it. In the 80s, like, he got Life magazine to come down to take a famous picture of 18 kids who played video games. Do you think that's possible in the 80s? Name someone who said, we're going to go get Life magazine. Life magazine, it's now owned by Time. Time magazine now owns Life, right? Do you know what it is to get on Time magazine?
Time owns Life.
Yeah, Time, no, but they bought them out. Time does own Life.
Time owns Life.
Oh, I get that. Oh, yeah, Time does own Life, though. But like, the Time magazine... I'm looking for Wreck-It Ralph. What the hell? Why can't I find Mr. Litwack? I want you to see this shit about Mr. Litwack. Where is he?
I'll look it up.
Mr. Litwack. Mr. Lit. There he goes. Stan Litwack. There he is. I got it for you. So watch it. It's right here. There it is, Stan Litwack. Click that.
Okay. You don't look a thing like Walter, though.
And it's funny, when you look at it, it says, featured films, Wreck-It Ralph, voice, Ed O'Neill for Married with Children, inspiration, Twin Galaxies founder, Walter Day.
Oh, he's got the rep shirt on.
Yeah, I see it.
Now,
why is Walter Day more iconic for wearing a rep shirt than actual reps?
That's also a stupid question. That doesn't make any sense. Because, like...
I asked you to be stupid.
Yeah. And Walter...
It was rhetorical.
And the reason why Walter put on a ref shirt was because he wanted to give it the true sports feeling. That was the whole purpose of him putting on the ref shirt. The whole... When Walter Day dies, Walter Day's going to have, like... I want to make sure I'm not trying to harp off on Walter's death, but when the unfortunate time for him to come, I'm going to make sure, like, I'm like, yo,
How many
It
ref shirts?
becomes an event. Like his funeral is
Of
an
course,
event.
I'm gonna make sure it is. Myself, Billy, we all gonna make sure it is. When he goes, that's George Washington, B. When he goes, that's the father. That shit's gonna be epic. That I'm trying to call Nintendo and everyone like, yo, when you have your next big award show or whatever, we got Walter gotta be in it for real. This man, first of all, I want to make sure I get one of his ref shirts because when he goes, I want to be able to put in a glass frame. This is one of the referee shirts Walter Day wore. Yo, dudes don't even understand, B. That shit's gonna be worth billions. Do you know what that's like? That's like getting what's this guy, the football guy's name? Um, Vince Lombardi. That's like getting Vince Lombardi's original whatever. Well, although he wasn't the guy who created football, but he was one of the most influential people in the football scene. But the thing is, like, that's why I said I don't blame you, because Sahil, you just don't know. But had you known, you would have like, yeah. But like, yo, Walter has done so much, and there are dark forces out there who's like, yo, we got to get rid of that old man. That old man will ruin our plans because guess what? They can't claim esports. If I knew the right connections, if I knew the right millionaire, I'd direct him directly to Walter Day. Walter Day become a millionaire overnight. Dude, this man has enough stories that he could go on ESPN and they can have a E60 Walter Day, and Walter Day can just give them documentaries upon documentaries. The first esports team, the first world championships, the first qualifier. There's so much story he has that he can put on his shit that ESPN will make so much money off of him. And the reason why esports is not expanding as fast as it needs to be is because the modern infrastructure for esports is not taking into account its history. No, when this day and age looks at the history, when this day and age looks at where the history of esports comes from, if parents knew what was sacrificed to build what we have now, they wouldn't look at it as some type of waste of time, which is sad.
Thank you.
They only see as they no longer see it as a waste of time only because the amount of money you can make from it. But they miss the cultural and historical aspect to it. It's almost, and that's sad how society is. Society only validates and quantifies things based on the amount of money you make, not the amount of time you invested in, or not the amount of work ethic you put into invest into building something. You don't care about that. So it's like, yo, it took me 20 years to build this city. We became a society. We've learned morals and values and cultural stuff about yada, yada, yada. How much is it worth? We don't have a value on it. Oh, it's value. It's pointless then. What? Why? And it's like, that's how society is. So the reason why people don't look at Walter Day and understand his history or take in account of his history, because Walter's poor. And that's what it is. I bet you anything, if Walter was rich, let a Warren Buffett comes and says, Walter, I want to own your life rights and your story and your stuff like that. Okay, how much you paying me? I'm giving you $10 million. Watch how many esports entities and big guys that never talked to Walter Day before all of a sudden want to talk to him because he has money. They don't care. Your history. I've always been a great supporter of you, Walter, man. Blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. You just want to get his money. He's an old man dying. You want to see how much of the millions you can get out of his pockets before he dies. And that's how sad the industry is. That's how sad they are. Guys like myself. Yeah, guys like myself, guys like Billy, guys like Steve, guys like Richie Knuckles, guys like the people in Ottumwa, Iowa. All those people, they support Walter not because Walter has some money coming to him on it. They support him because of what he has done for the scene then and now. Walter Day didn't draw a line in water. Walter Day punched the water so hard it created a tsunami that reverberated throughout the entire oceans of the world. That's what he has done. The man's impact 35 years ago is impacting people today. The man's impact. Let me show you how deep Walter Day's history goes. I can verifiably say this, and I will say this when I'm in the Hall of Fame. Walter Day is the reason why I built Empire Arcadia. If not for Walter Day, Empire Arcadia would not be the #1 winning video game, the most documented winning video game team on planet Earth. Facts.
And not because just because Walter Day was born. Walter Day was the actual person who directed me to the person in Guinness to help me get the record. You know how I got my connections to Guinness? Walter Day. Hey Guinness, this is a guy who's a real supporter and a pioneer fighting for esports in terms of merging its history together. Meet Triforce Johnson. And Guinness was like, hello Triforce. That's how I got into Guinness. Through Walter Day. Like, people don't understand this, man. Man, listen. The earliest known competitions took place back in October 1972. Stanford University Space Wars on tournament. And that's not even true. That also is not even true. Video game tournaments have been going video game championship tournaments have been going on since the 60s. But the problem
I know it's just that's wiki though.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just yeah.
The problem is that those video game tournaments, there was no infrastructure. This was the prehistoric age. That's the true prehistoric age of esports, because there was no infrastructure. It was just people hosting tournaments, right, with private or public or whatever, to usually either promote a game or their school or some company that was doing some sponsorship to it. It wasn't until when Walter Day created Twin Galaxies for the sole purpose of creating an infrastructure to turn competitive gaming into a sport. He was the one who says, listen, this is not about me getting money. First of all, Walter went broke and went to the poorhouse because he was doing this. He did not do this because...
That's why I said I don't think it would have started without him, because it wasn't about like
the money.
Yeah.
It wasn't a profit.
If it wasn't for Walter, this shit wouldn't have happened. I really don't. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal
I kind of agree. It required someone who was willing to sacrifice.
Okay.
Someone had to sacrifice. There's a part in this game called Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and this line is so defining of Walter Day. Walter Day did what he had to do because all great movements require a martyr, and he sacrificed himself to build it. You think these video game companies and these esports companies is out here making sacrifices?
It's called EMP. It's called EMP.
Well,
you're doing it right. You've done it yourself,
outside of us, but I don't want to big up myself in that.
Okay, I'm doing it. You're not bigging up yourself. I'm talking out of my mouth. This is my appreciation for you. All right. Okay, let me stop.
Walter Day actually said that line.
I watched that video. Billy Mitchell said it. He said it himself. He said, you're taking the steps from Walter Day.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted.
I know you wanted.
I always wanted to. I was like,
there has to be, but yeah, you're getting older though. So
exactly,
there has to be steps taken for the next generation, and these people not realizing and not paying attention and not like, yo, go watch videos, man. Go watch the videos, man.
And that's the sad part. We're in an age where you could just wiki and YouTube these things. It's not hidden. It's right there. Yeah, 10 years ago, then okay. 10 years ago, yeah,
it's right there on the Empire Arcadia channel.
Well, that's yeah. I made a whole. That's the funny part. I made an entire playlist so you can see the true history of esports. A whole playlist for it that dates back all the way to 1979. So there's no excuse for people to say, "Oh, I didn't know." Nope. You could know, but then soon someone is going to look to fade Empire Arcadia out fade Empire Arcadia into obscurity, and that is why we are building the third dynasty, because I am now passing the torch to you guys. You're the next generation that must pass on so that the history is not lost. And there will be many who will come and try to fight and all of this other stuff, and my son or daughter will inherit this company, and it will be war. We will body these motherfuckers. This shit will not go down like that, B. Real rap. It will not go down like that. So I hope all you people in here like Barthrax and 900 Keyblade and Jerry and Dr. 12 Evil, Van Burn, Stefan, and I hope all you guys are learning from this stuff, because, yo, these people be hiding this, B. They hiding it. Does Walter Day regret not unionizing the arcade scene? I think he would. He tried to.
When he did the whole it wasn't Space Invaders, the Defenders World Championship, he brought together 21 arcades in the United States to all push to a championship, but dudes was only focusing on how much money their arcade was making. They didn't care. You have to understand, back then and still now to these days, people don't do what they do because they want, like, EMP is not made because I'm trying to make some type of profit. EMP is made because I want to die and leave a legacy. Yo, who was Triforce? I don't want people to say Triforce was this rich guy. When Walter dies, do you not see what this man's legacy is going to be? When he dies, people are going to say, who was that guy with the red shirt? That was the father of esports. Esports will be a multi-billion-dollar industry. My man goes out as the father. This nigga is Jesus Christ. He descends from the heavens. Oh, people are playing like he gets that. Man, listen, if someone says Triforce, that or $1 trillion, now I'll take the legacy. I don't care about the money. Money's just a piece of paper. I'll take the legacy.
Triforce, with $1 trillion, you could eviscerate all the stupidity in the world like you wanted to.
No, I couldn't. Someone just kill me and then that's it, and the stupidity comes right back. Nothing changes.
Even with $1 trillion?
Even with $1 trillion, nothing changes.
Money actually doesn't affect a lot of things. The whole point of money is to compete with other people with money for resources.
That's it.
It's a middleman. That's all it is.
Money has no real value or power.
Money is for peons.
True indeed.
You gotta own stuff. You can have money, but you gotta own something.
Exactly. EMP is a broke team. What are we surviving on? Well, I don't want to put our finances out there, but we're barely surviving or whatever we're surviving on. But the teams,
we're community.
Yeah, there are teams, right? There are teams, Mad Cats, AGE, which is Afterglow Elite, the same guys that make the headsets. Afterglow. There are teams that have $1 million behind them and corporate backing and anything. These teams are dead. The teams are dead. EMP is still alive, and we don't have their money. Which goes back to my point about the whole thing about these companies maintaining all of this nonsense about, like, oh, well, it's about getting excuse me, I'm sorry. About getting the proper teams and stuff like that, the money to host these teams. Nah, man, all of this whole thing about getting all this extra money, that's just, man, I just need the right investor to come along who goes, Triforce, your vast experience and knowledge of the scene, plus the history of your team, your connection to the elder gods and stuff like that, we're going to invest $1 million into your team. I'm like, here, take back 750,000. Keep the change. We'll make it happen on $250,000. $250,000.
I think you make the same exact point putting 75 in the bank, just in savings. I don't think you got a hand straight slapping back in my man's hand. Like he takes the wide, counts out 250, and then slaps the rest back in the dude's face.
Yeah, that's what I would do. If an investor actually did that, he peeled me $1 million and he gave it to me in my hand, I peel off 250,000. I'd give it to Lance. I'm like, put that in the bank, and I'll slap him with the $750 back, 750K in his face. I'm like, keep change. I'm like, what do you mean,
boy?
Keep change?
You better split that with me so I can get a fucking animation studio started.
Nah, I would probably invest in other areas like what you said, because EMP can't just be sit here just be like on some. We need to be like content product. We need to be content producers. We have to produce and own our own.
I believe you can make it. I believe you can make it with 250, but wow.
Give me 100 and I'm good. People don't understand.
100 for what?
$100,000 is, and it's all I need for EMP, and it's a wrap. Yo, you don't even know. You know what we're doing with EMP just this year alone. What we've been doing with EMP just this year alone, and we haven't even spent 20 grand. Think about that.
Yeah, not even.
We haven't even spent $20,000. There's whole esports teams that have spent. They spent $100,000 in the first quarter already.
Yeah.
And these investors get gassed. Yo, we have this team brand and this and that. I'd be laughing. Dudes be spending $1 million and can't get their team on any mainstream media network. sadly, and they can't do it internationally. I'm like, and you spending all that? Yo, man, they need to. Yo, I need to meet these people. Just burning their money. Hey, burning money. But it doesn't make a difference because whether we get the investor or not, we'll just do it ourselves. That's what it's going to ultimately come down to. We're just going to do it ourselves.
Holy shit.
So, Triforce, guess what?
What?
The commercial for Battle of the Memes just finished exporting. And I need to send that to you.
All right, send that to me ASAP.
Where do I send it to you through the drive or what?
Well, why are you sending me the Battle of the Meme? Why don't? Oh, you have to run that on your channel.
Do you want me to run it on my channel, or do you want me to run it?
I want you to run it. I just want to keep all the more gamer centric, the serious gaming centric stuff on our channel. But that commercial, you need to make that commercial, the Battle of the Memes, as your main opening video on your main channel. So when we send people to your channel, they'll see it.
Okay. All right. It'll be up in the afternoon.
Okay.
Man, they try first. I don't know how you feel about like cryptocurrency and stuff, but personally, I feel like in like 50 years and stuff. Yeah, I feel like in like 50 years, it's gonna become a mainstream form of payment along with cash and credit.
I want cryptocurrency to be EMP's actual currency. The currency for gamers is cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it gets rid of all of the inconveniences of like actual
There's no
money.
inconvenience, man. It's just it stops cutting down damn trees and wasting paper on friggin' foolishness. That's
No, but it's also exchange rates and stuff.
All of that's made up. You do know this, right? All of that's made up. Exchange rates, there's no such thing as exchange rates, man. These things, when you look at the origins of these things, none of these things make any sense. When you think about it, exchange rate, what do you exchange for? What? What's the exchange rate even being for? Why? What makes one country money value more than the other?
If there wasn't, right, a lot more people would.
Just to control people even further.
Yeah.
The reason why certain currencies are worth more than others is because of geopolitical strife. That's all it is.
That's it. Because like
you're a third nation, so your money's for shit.
Yeah. So here's a question. The U.S. dollar.
England owns this continent, so your money's for shit.
Like the U.S. has no gold behind their money. So why they're the #1 GDP on the planet? And there's not a single valuable metal behind it. See? So why is America's GDP up when they have no resources? Shouldn't Jamaica's GDP should be up? They have all the sugar cane. So I don't understand. And they have the world's #1 coffee from Blue Mountain. So why is their GDP down and they're the ones with the resources and America doesn't?
Because they're not in control of the resources. Yes.
That's it.
I don't know.
No, it's literally because they don't control the resources. Some guy in England owns the resources.
It's just like the Congos of Africa. Who holds all the coltan and the gold and the diamonds and the whatnot? It's not the people of Congo. It's England and France. And you're like,
and the bananas.
You're like, how? How does
goddamn bananas?
Yeah, exactly. How?
And for me personally, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just gonna not take a stance on it because for me personally, I just need more information to take a firm stance on it.
But if more people were like that.
Well, no, okay. We understand you're taking a neutral stance, but there's not much neutrality to take when we're just speaking facts. Who owns these resources? Clearly not the Europeans, but their value and currency is up. That makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, okay, for instance, it's like why Robert Mugabe is like, yo, we taking back all of our diamond mines from the Caucasian oppressors of the country. Oh, well, no, it's a part of our country. We have 9 generations in, but all the black people have been there since Jesus was on earth, farting mummy dust. So, like, what do they mean? So, like, we don't understand. So, like, whose resources is these? But they don't. The point we're trying to make is this: is that resources is the only value in the world. That's the only value in the world. Resources. He who owns the resources owns the world. That's it. And so this is why you think destabilizing the Middle East is so important. so they can,
Africa.
so they
Yeah.
can control the resources. That's it.
But the Chinese, just like other powerful nations in the world, used food as currency. The Chinese used rice, goddammit. Rice!
It's all the control people. That's it. Poldrin, there's a guy called Brian Chelava or whatever. I can't pronounce his last name. He's in the YouTube page. Can you give him our Discord link? He's interested in playing Dragon Ball Fighters, and
it is in the description at the very bottom.
Oh yeah, it's in the description.
I'll put it in the Discord. I mean, I'll put it in the chat, no problem. But it is in the, it's at the very bottom of the description for this stream. There you go. But just so everyone knows, it's at the very bottom.
Counts Splatula says money has no value now. All right, I'm out. So watch this. Count Splatula, if you're still in here, if you come to Jamaica, right, or in fact not, forget about going to Jamaica, right? If you're in Houston right now with the hurricane relief efforts, what do you need? Money or food and blankets? Which one would you take?
I'm taking the cash, B.
and you know what that's called? Western.
You know there are dudes like that though.
Yeah,
okay, you can have this blanket, or you can have like $100.
Western mentality. Western mentality.
I promise you, 90% of them niggas is taking the fucking money.
Yeah, they are.
Taking the money.
Yeah. The only reason I brought up the cryptocurrency thing is because I was just checking the Ethereum price, which is a type of cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, 2 days ago it was worth $400. Right now it's down to $325, and it's like dropping down even more. Right? So I'm just thinking, if I had the money, I would definitely, like, once it hits its lowest point, I would definitely like to buy a bunch of it and then wait for it to go up, because it's already hit 400 twice. 400 point twice now. And each time it did it.
You had broke up for a second. Is that me?
I heard him. What was I gonna say though? I mean, for those of you who think we sound crazy, money actually doesn't have any intrinsic value, just like diamonds.
Money has one purpose: to be spent. Give money to an idiot who will give you actual value for your money. So
yeah, exactly.
That's it. So our job is to just make money and give it to people who's willing to give away what actually matters for money.
Yeah.
That's money's only purpose.
I mean, good God, what does America have? Like nothing.
It doesn't have shit. That's why it needs to go to the middle.
We pillaged all the resources and gave it to other people. Like,
I mean, it still has like mines and stuff, but like,
I mean, we got coal.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Well, Canada has the diamond mines. Canada and Africa are where the diamonds are at.
Mm-hmm. America used to have gold, but we mined it all out in the
and then the gold seizure. And
I was under the impression that America got all their gold from the west coast of Canada and the Yukon and stuff with the gold rush.
Either way,
I mean, yes, but there ain't as much gold as there should be.
Yeah, I guess.
Dudes was just like, you know, raping the mountains when somebody found, oh, there's gold in here. We gotta get money.
Oh yeah, no, I just remembered. I think one of the gold rushes, I think there might have been multiple. If there was multiple, then one of them. I'm pretty sure, like, when, like, the Europeans went on an expedition there, one guy just picked up a random rock because it looked cool. And, like, the guy refined it, and it turned out to be gold. And then they sent, like, hundreds of thousands of ships there, and there was no other gold there. It was just that one nugget, which happened to be gold.
Ain't that some shit? That's a whole nother conversation, though.
Yo, Triforce, how are you doing, man? What's going on, Julian Prince? Keep up the godlike work on your channel. All right, man. And keep goodness. Hold on, guys.
You gotta delete that.
Yes, that's.
How much internal memory do you have?
I don't know. It's gone now. I just delete that crap immediately.
Well, you have yours set to 720 or so, so I'm guessing around 14 gigs.
That should probably eat up everything that is possible. No, I'm not gonna re-upload this, Jerry. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. So what? How much time is it? 5 more minutes and we'll end the stream.
I think you
Whatever.
should at least crop out something in here because there was a lot of educational stuff in this.
Yeah, but then that's all that work I gotta do to recrop out all of this just to put it up.
Yeah,
just
with all
leave it
the with all the disconnects and stuff.
Yeah,
Just make it public.
yeah. I'm
Time
just gonna make.
stamp.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make it public. I'm gonna make it public.
Get some timestamps in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it public.
Do it the lazy way.
Yeah.
Just timestamp. Just put the timestamps in the description.
No, I'm not buying the collector's edition, Julian. All right, but we had a very. But I hope you learned some stuff, Sahil. I'm always interested in people learning. Wait a minute. Alert, alert. The hurricane is heading for the Caribbean, Florida, and maybe where I live. It's a category 4, and they are deadly. Stay safe. Now I got to deal with this nonsense coming down here.
Do the basement.
Yep.
Wait, so you're saying Hurricane Harvey came from the equator, came up, and is now going back down?
I'm telling you, man-made, man-made. Man-made. No such
Yeah,
thing.
that thing is an RC car.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about man.
The new RC Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
You remember the commercials?
Yeah, that exactly. I know about that being man-made. It came out of the Atlantic Ocean, came up the Gulf of Mexico, went to what's the name of this thing here? Went to Houston. After hitting Houston, circled back and now doubling back and is going back out the coast to the Caribbean. And you gonna say you don't think this is man-made? Alrighty then.
You know what I'm gonna do, Triforce?
Yeah.
Right? What I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna go on. You know how they have Ask Reddit, right? They have a subreddit called Ask Reddit. There's also one called Ask Science, and has actual like people with undergrads and masters in different fields.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So I'm just gonna see. I just want to see, right? I'm just gonna go on. I'm gonna ask if there's any astrologists that can say why didn't the hurricane just get sucked up when it hit the desert in Texas.
And then also ask them this: why did the hurricane double back from where it came from?
Yeah, okay. I'll ask them that. And if they can give me, I want to see if they can give me an answer. Okay? I'm not saying this like pretentiously, like I'm not expecting an answer. I don't know if there is one, right? I'll see if there is. I want to.
But some things are common sense. Like my man, a hurricane doubles back from where it came from. What? That's not possible. That is literally impossible.
No, I understand from a common sense standpoint. You're right. I agree. It doesn't make sense, right? But again, there are people who spend like 10 to 20 years studying this, all their lives of their adult life studying this, right? So I'm just gonna see what they have to say before I make my own assumption on it.
And I want you to do this. I want you to do this. So
I will
don't
do
take this. Don't take this as me being discouraging.
Yeah, I will do this tomorrow.
People spent half their lives trying to prove that the Earth was flat. Renowned scientists that studied this stuff for most of their life. No, it's flat. God damn it.
Well, my thing is, who gives a shit about it being flat? What does that change? Doesn't change.
It honestly doesn't change anything. Considering that no matter how we travel the planet, it seems to work out. So if it is, it's round. But if it was flat, it clearly doesn't matter.
Yeah. If it was flat. If it was flat, they can flat these nuts.
Oh no, that's gonna hurt.
No flat.
Okay.
They're an original.
Oh, it's not okay. It's not Harvey. He says it's not that.
No. It's Irma.
It's Irma. Oh no, that's not coming to us. I know Irma's coming from out of the Atlantic. It's gonna hit Haiti, sweep through Florida. That's coming from. That's above us. Yeah.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah, I feel like Haiti just gets raped by Mother Nature every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
but you're gonna receive like what's the left of. It's basically tropical depression grade.
Yeah.
Tropical depression or tropical storm.
No. Zuru or Poldrin, can you help Brian? Something is going on with this Discord. It's asking people for their phone numbers. Like too many people are saying it for it to just be like.
Can we get another link or something? Jesus.
No. It will ask for phone number regardless. That way, if we ban for a reason, it's permaban.
Okay.
Oh, I see what's going on there. Okay.
How does anyone even know about making a hurricane? And why would anyone want to make one if they could? Same reason why someone would make a hydrogen bomb. Why would you want to make a hydrogen bomb for? When they make them.
Weather manipulation is not that difficult for the people who work in that field.
Like, why would someone make a bomb that can kill people? Like, I don't understand. Same reason why people make that stuff. Gamecocks. What? Why is your name called Gamecocks, man? Yo, that's crazy.
Oh man. Just remember, whoever thinks in bread, whoever's hungry thinks in bread.
Jamaicans don't hate Haitians. Idiots hate Haitians. Because the Haitians are our brothers. You know what the difference between Haiti and Jamaica? Haiti was the first stop. Black people in the Caribbean are so stupid.
Well, I mean, like it's this whole thing in the media that pushes, because it happens everywhere. Everybody always want to push this hate speech nonsense when it's like most people just want to get along.
Like, that's all Haiti is. Haiti is the first stop. They was like, yo, we gotta get them niggers. We gotta separate them niggers so they don't jump up on us. How we gonna do that? Okay, we're gonna take the brother, we're gonna drop him off at Haiti, we're gonna take the sister, we're gonna put him in Jamaica, and we're gonna take the uncle and we're gonna put him in where can we put him? Let's put him in the Bahamas and blah blah blah. And that's how they split us up. Got these morons over here arguing. That is so stupid.
All right, I'm getting out of here.
All right.
I'll see you guys
later. Woohoo. All right, guys. Julian and the rest of you guys, thank you guys for joining us on this late night stream. It got slightly political. I hope you guys learned a lot. We went over the Guinness Book of World Records Gamers Edition and all this other stuff, and then we started talking about the Elder God himself, Walter Day. Join us tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow's stream, we're going to go about actually getting, it's going to be a community event, activity. We're going to be nominating people for the class of 2017 International Video Game Hall of Fame. So we hope to see you guys tomorrow on that. Peace.